Welcome to the Gibberpish podcast.
Well, we may be beginning this episode with a retraction, but we're here to talk Gibberpish, aren't we, Dom?
Yep, we most certainly are. What is the retraction this week?
Last week, we made a very generalising and sweeping statement about the nature of people returning to the gym as part of a New Year, New Me campaign.
Yeah.
And we said that you were all welcome, and we're happy to have you there. You fuckers can leave now. I'm done.
You done with the New Year, New Me people?
I went back. I've been off for 2 weeks from the gym. I've been unwell. My body just crashed. I was like, fuck it. I'm just not going to go. I'll use all the energy, put it on repair myself. I'll get back out there and I'll go to the gym. And I went today. Those fat fucks broke 2 things. They broke 2 of the best weight machines in the room. They broke the damn shoulder press.
Oh, dude, no.
Fantastic machine they've got there because it's got multiple grips. Love it.
Yep.
It's great for isolation. And they broke the X cable fly machine.
Oh, dude, it's such a fucking good machine. It works so many different backs and...
They broke all the glory muscle machines. I need to return to glory. You fuck stopped me. I've had it. Get out, you fat fucks.
You're done, you fucks.
You had your time. Go. So yeah, we're done with those people.
Yeah,
I mean, keep trying, but try elsewhere.
yeah, try somewhere that I'm not.
Try in someone else's gym, please. That was an interesting return today because I wasn't sure how I'd feel going back in there. I'm feeling good right now. Guarantee I'm going to regret it tomorrow. But
I know that feeling.
I may have accidentally minorly bullied somebody off him the deadlift spot because we're going to do something really basic bitch about it.
No.
We're like, oh, I need to do like this thing. I'm like, you could do that on that bench. You go to that bench. You don't need a deadlift rack to do that. There's benches over there that you can do that on, and it'll be better for you anyway because it works. He was going to do like shoulder press stuff,
Yeah.
but he wouldn't do it real lightweight because he is one of those New Year, New Me people.
Yeah, he needs to start low.
He's a bigger gentleman. You are not going to need a full rack. I'm
No.
sorry, sir. I need to get my deadlifts in, and I'm not exactly half-assing this today. I need this.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the polite way to do it. Just look, you're going to do it this way. You're going to burn out. If you want to, do it properly as a kind of stepping stone, do it this way. That's the right way to do it. The wrong way to do it was in a video that I seen. It was kind of circulated through various rugby chats and stuff that I'm on Facebook. But it's this. I think he's about 18, maybe 19. Pretty big dude.
Yeah.
He's in the gym doing his sort of rugby exercises. He's doing these deadlifts, and I think he's lifting about 220k.
Nice.
The kid's going for it, and he's sitting there. He does about 3. Then some guy comes over as he's doing his 4th and kicks the bar out his hand, and he says, "Get out your glory lifting." And he goes, "No, I've got stuff coming up. I need to build a bit more weight. Got big games and that coming up." He said, "I don't care. Get out your glory lifting." And the guy, I should also point out, he doesn't even work for the gym.
It's just some random bro.
Some random dickhead.
Right.
Don't dignify him with a bro. The guy's a cunt.
I never met somebody that was a bro. I was like, he's a genuine bro.
Yeah, no, he's a dickhead. But he literally then pushes him over. He almost falls over the weights that he's been lifting. And he says, "Right, let me go and get my stuff." He pushes him again. And it's just like, you've told the guy to leave, now you're stopping him from leaving. Right? Don't be that guy.
So, the first thing is, if you've ever done deadlifting, you know that as soon as you're done with your reps, your back is basically wet spaghetti.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot, you have no, I take 10 seconds afterwards just holding on to the rack. Just be like, right, okay, everything's fine. And I'll just, support my own weight.
Yeah, just let the lactic acid drain, move around.
Let everything out, let everything kind of reorganize itself and sorted, and then you can do stuff.
I can walk without falling over.
And that's when I'm like, I've done my sets, I'm done, I put the bar down. I cannot imagine what it's like to have somebody kick or slap the bar out your damn hand.
And I get to a decent weight when it comes to deadlifting because it's something that, because of the position that I play in rugby, it helps me so much. It builds shoulders, backs, it helps a fuck ton, builds legs. I get to about 200 when I'm deadlifting.
Yeah.
And I used to before I turned into a fat sack of shit.
Yeah.
Having that kicked out of your hands, that's
you're going to spring up.
Hurt.
Yeah. That's horrible, but
yeah.
The other thing as well is what did he define as glory lifting?
Apparently he was just making too much noise. But I think he just, the way I seen it is he was maybe making a bit too much noise, but he had pads underneath the bar.
Yeah.
So when the weights were falling, they were cushioned.
You still do get quite a bit of rattle.
Yeah.
There's a few people who just throw the weights around and get really rattly.
Yeah, the clean and press assholes that just go, "Rah!" and throw the bar on the ground. You're a fucking asshole.
Here's the thing though, with deadlifting, at a certain point it does become a risk to yourself of your own health to lower the bar down, and that obviously varies from person to person.
If you've been doing it a while, if you've been going for, say, I get you again, you would never do this in fucking in regular society, but if you've been going for, just say, 15 minutes deadlifting, you would never fucking. I mean, I would never do that because that's just fucking idiotic.
Yeah.
If you're going 15 minutes and you think, right, I'm going to bend over and pick this up, you're putting your back under serious strain. Just stop. Take a break, then go back to your sets.
Yeah, I just can't believe that somebody would do that in the gym, and somebody who cares about the quality of people's experience in the gym by like saying, "Oh, you're making too much noise," whatever. The fact that that person would come in and like fuck up somebody's workout and risk their health, in that instant just to prove it, and then being a dick in general, that like is a whole other issue. But the idea that somebody with that kind of mindset of the gym needs to be a place for everyone to then go and fuck up somebody's workout is an absolute like disgrace.
Do you want to know the worst thing is? People say, "Oh, Canadians are so polite." I'm pretty sure it was in Canada.
Dick.
Yeah, the guy looked.
The Canadians' nice thing is kind of just a meme. Like it doesn't have to be true. It
has no truth to it, I think. I mean, I've met some nice Canadians.
Met a lot of nice Canadians, but there are also like it's just a general population thing. Statistically, someone's gonna have to be a dick.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice Scottish people, but we both know from experience there's a shit ton of dickheads.
Yeah, there's a lot of dickheads. Yeah. The other thing is deadlifting. I just so happened to see it's a guy who is like a Instagram workout like trainer guy or whatever.
No, yeah.
Guy was doing deadlifts in a rack and was lifting about 800 pounds. So that comes down to close to about 300, maybe close to 350. Dom just made a face that everyone just kind of makes me realize, wait, he picks that up. Yeah. He started bleeding from the chest.
Jesus, no fucking wonder.
There's 3, like randomly, like one in each rep. There's just like a pinprick hole appears, and you see a trail of blood going down his skin.
Is this a video that you watched, or did this happen when you went to the gym?
This is a video.
Oh,
the video I watched. If this happened in my gym, I would have filmed it myself. I would be like, Dom, check it out.
Excuse me, sir, you're bleeding onto my camera. Could you turn the other way?
I mean, this is cool and all, but you're ruining the camera.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to get a new fucking screen protector on your case now. Fuck you.
It was insane to watch because like he sees it, he knows it's happening. Like this has happened before, and he reacts so calmly. I'd be freaking out. I'd be like, first, like as soon as that first drop hits the mat under the feet, and I go, "Hey, what's that?" Oh,
that's me.
We're done for the day. Yeah. But he doesn't react. He's got a guy filming it. He's got a camera on a tripod, as well as somebody else filming from a different angle because you got to get that like maximum effort on like a YouTube video about deadlifts. And none of them react. They're all like, Dave's bleeding again.
Oh, Jesus.
Typical Dave.
What are you bleeding for again, man? It reminds me when I used to train at Falkirk Rugby Club, there was this English dude, not massive muscle, but had a lot of mass about him. He was quite a big, heavy set dude. Yeah. We were doing squats. We'd done squats for about like 5. We were doing them kind of circuits, and he'd done squats, like getting like progressively more weight on him. So he was naturally kind of fatigued. Then he went on to do clean and jerk, clean and press.
Yeah.
And he just kept adding more and more weight on. And have you ever heard the sound of someone's pectoral muscles tearing?
No.
It's fucking terrifying. Imagine if someone took a bass guitar and just snapped all the strings.
Oh.
Because literally within minutes you just seen a bruise forming down here. Physio came in and went, take your t-shirt off, and it was just black.
I've seen the footage of it. Was a guy who broke the bench press world record.
Yeah.
Like he popped blood vessels and stuff in his chest.
Yeah.
And you see that fill up, and it's like a blood bag.
Yeah.
It just stapled to someone's chest. And you're like, oh my God, what the hell? Yeah. So I can't imagine it's fun to watch that happen in real life.
It happens quite often in sort of scrums, because think about it, you're pushing quite a lot and it's a lot of shoulder and chest work. It happens quite a lot if you're putting too much pressure on the scrum, but I've never seen anyone just doing sort of presses and then just hear that. It was the most horrifying sound I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Because you hear the kind of clank of the machines, you hear people just kind of grunting like, "Ugh," and obviously the English guy just, "Ugh, ugh." Everyone just kind of looked wide-eyed like a kid that was getting shouted at.
It's like, what the hell was that?
Oh shit, big fella is going to need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we could sit and rhyme off, horrifying injuries that I've seen. A friend of mine broke his sternum.
Damn.
Like, for those, because I only really found out what it was couple of years back. But the sternum is what holds your ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that bone in between your rib cage. He broke that.
Nice. The weird thing for that one as well is the ribs, like, whenever they staple them together, it's like an absolute nightmare because it's got to be stapled from like 2 or 3 different directions.
Yeah.
So whenever you do that, it's like plates go everywhere. But I can't, like, how do you fit it? Because it looks like almost like a spider.
Yeah.
Like you have the main part, the solar plexus, and then you just have like the other, like the rib cages coming off of it, like the ribs themselves. I'm like, how do you bolt that back
I
together?
don't know. He had to go through, I think he had to go through a couple of surgeries, but this was back when he was 16. So he was doing his prelim exams.
Shit. He was a little busy, and then all of a sudden you hear, hey, so you need to take some time off.
But my exams are coming up soon. I need to sit down.
You have
Pretty sure
no
that was the
chest.
last thing on his mind.
You have no chest, sir. You might not technically be able to sit.
Yeah.
We wouldn't medically
You'd have to
recommend
lie
it.
down.
I could. I was gonna say, could you do an entire exam like on your back, looking up
Yeah,
at
but
the paper?
one of those cool like office desks that you see that you just have the swing back so you could type up there. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he didn't do them.
Crazy office desk design, by the way. I've seen one with a treadmill built into it. It's literally just a wheel. The wheel goes under your feet, over the top, and then over like the front of the desk, and the desk is just standing in the middle of it. Who the fuck came up with that? Who
That
was like,
is a hamster wheel.
yeah, it's like a hamster wheel for a desk. Like the standing
that's
desk
ridiculous.
was too far. I've seen other ones as well, like little like it's also for like office workers who just spend all day on a chair, and you would have like a little set of like not quite a bike, but just the pedals,
Oh, right.
and you would just kind of power your like this thing is it doesn't do anything. Like if you could have it power your computer, great.
Yeah, it was a massive leap forward in green energy.
But otherwise, it's just somebody in their office making like a weird grinding noise.
Yeah.
At that point, that person's getting fired.
Yeah, it's like you're making too much noise. You need to stop. Get rid of the bike machine. Unless you can hook it up to your computer, contribute some power. Get rid of it.
Help us with lecky bills or fuck off.
I mean, if you could hook up the hamster wheel desk thing to some kind of generator, I think you're making sustainable energy out of that.
Yeah,
Because think about the amount of people that work in offices.
as well. Actually, I think
I will condone the treadmill desk, but the fucking idiots that sit on
yoga balls.
the yoga balls. Oh, it helps my posture. No, it fucking doesn't.
I'm building core strength. It looks like you're riding a dick.
Yeah, it looks like you're just bouncing on a chode. It's
the-
like when you see people, you see videos again on Instagram. I'm fucking coming after Instagram dickheads today. When you see them, they're doing like cleaning presses or they're doing squats or something on the yoga ball or the skill ball as they call it. That's not going to fucking do anything for you. You're never going to be able to get. Fair enough, it might do something to your core muscles, but you're going to get so much more out of the workout if you get rid of the stupid fucking bouncy ball.
Yeah.
And just do regular fucking squats or regular press.
Yeah, like you can shoulder press and build your core strength by just standing there.
Yeah, just do the regular exercise. Get rid of the fucking yoga ball.
The other thing as well for me is like, when are your legs going to be like that when you have to shoulder
Yeah,
press?
it's completely unrealistic.
When are you going to like have a chair? Like, hold on, sit in this chair. Also, we're going to move it up and down. And you're going to just press this up with your shoulders.
It's a massive leap forward for the roller coaster workout. If you're ever going to work out in a roller coaster, sure, put in the yoga ball, but you're never going to need it. It's like algebra. You're never going to realistically use it.
No. I was going to say... there was,
Wait, I use it? No, you don't.
nah, I don't. I use very basic arithmetic, and it's marvellous
Yeah.
to some people. But it's like, come on, guys, just crunch some numbers. It's fine. You can do this in your head, surely. I was like, no.
Do you need a calculator? Wait, it's 2 + 2. Why do you need a calculator?
Do you need a calculator? No. Good. Because there's one on the computer. Fuck. Thought we had a winner there. We don't. I passed a Reddit milestone this week.
Okay.
And I've been on there for about 3 years, and I'm really glad to finally pass the milestone of finally being banned from a subreddit.
You got banned from a subreddit?
Yeah.
What subreddit and why?
14-day ban for Praise the Cameraman, which was a really interesting like series of clips that people took of like filming and people doing just like fun stuff, and then a cameraman also doing it, like where the camera work was as impressive, or the fact that the cameraman kept up with the performer was impressive.
Alright, so kind of like someone takes clips of Bear Grylls and just say, look at the cameraman, he's keeping up with Bear Grylls.
More to do with like if you have like a snowboard trick compilation, and it's like, oh wait, there was a guy on a snowboard keeping up with that guy, also holding a camera at the same time. Like,
skill.
damn, that's impressive. Like, praise the cameraman.
Yeah, right.
Fun subreddit. and I noticed there was like a lot of cross-posting going on from different places that were quite general. And I thought, okay, well, I guess I've loosened up some of the rules so we can share some more interesting and weird content. I found a post in the Red Dead Redemption 2 subreddit that was titled "The Last Thing You Want to See While Fishing." And I was like, that's pretty cool. I will click it, see what happens. And it's just a guy looking at this massive expanse of water, and then I was like, oh shit, so I'm going to jump out the water, something weird going to happen. You literally just see a pistol come into framing and then shoot him in the back of the head. I was like, damn, that's pretty funny. And like, if you're the gamer, you're the cameraman.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this will be acceptable to post. Nope. Weirdly enough, though, I looked at the analytics for the post. 100% positive upvotes. Couple comments saying it was very funny and they enjoyed it. And then I woke up the next morning to a message saying, you've been banned from the subreddit for 14 days. I was like, you know what? Done. Fuck it. I left that subreddit. It's fine, but actually somebody came to my defense. Actually, 2 people have posted saying shouldn't have been banned for it, and I'm like, look, guys, thanks. Like I DM'd them privately and was like, thanks, I appreciate it, but
I'm not losing sleep over this.
I'm not losing sleep over this. I'm done with the subreddit anyway. It's becoming very I see the same places being used for source material.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna fuck it. Don't care anymore. I'm done with the place. If the mods want to be like that, that's fine. Go for it.
I find, just talking about photos and taking photographs, again, I'm fucking coming off the Instagram today. Someone described, someone told me a new word and I wish I didn't fucking know it. It's Instagrammable. We were in university and one of my friends went, oh, this place is very Instagrammable. And I went, what is that word? Tell me what that word means and never use it again. They went, oh, it looks like you could get some cool dope-ass Instagram pics. And I went, dope-ass Instagram pics? Did you genuinely just say that in front of me? Did you use oxygen
What's the matter, Dom?
Say that?
What's the matter, Dom? I mean, it's a pretty lit place.
Oh, dude, this place is sick.
Wicked retarded. How about that? Is that
wicked
okay?
smart.
Wicked.
I say wicked smart all the time. I don't even mean to.
Blame
Bill Burr and other Bostonian comedians.
There's a lot of...
I say other Bostonian comedians, like there's more than just 3.
I think Joe Rogan technically counts.
Yeah, that's Joe Rogan. Fuck, what the hell's his name? Pete Holmes. Pete Holmes, he's Bostonian, and Bill Burr.
The big 3.
Yeah, the big 3 of Boston. Free the Boston 3.
Free the Boston 3.
And we have the episode title.
Free the Boston 3. And this time I'll actually make it the episode title. We did catch that one afterwards. So I was like, I published the episode. Oh, did you call it y'all motherfuckers need friendship? Oh no.
Oh.
Oops.
Crap.
Maybe this time we'll take a note of it before we forget it. The Boston 3.
Free the Boston 3.
Free the Boston 3. I have... What was the thing? Oh yeah, just took photos and Reddit and stuff. I did find a new place though that I really enjoy. Thalassophobia.
Thalassophobia, what's that?
Thalassophobia is the fear of open water. So you ever see like the sea and you're at the beach and you're like, oh, this is nice. And then you see there's a really dark patch and you're like, oh god, that's where the beach stops and the sea begins. That's thalassophobia. That punch in the gut feeling of,
I need to swim back.
There could be monsters here. There's probably not.
Cthulhu might be here. I'm not running the chances.
I'm not rolling these dice.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to the beach. I'm going to enjoy a cocktail. I'm going to go to bed again.
Yeah. I'm going to sit and develop skin cancer on the beach.
So thalassophobia, the subreddit, is a weird mix of like actual pictures from like deep sea divers and people who are interested in sharks and stuff, and just weird deep sea creatures, and then also weird artwork. There's a lot of really like, as we're talking Cthulhu, that type of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like from the depths of hell, also the bottom of the sea. Here's your introduction to thalassophobia. The thalassophobia, when you actually go and Google it, try and find out what the term means. It was like, I think I've heard this term before. Can't remember the exact definition. When you Google it, you get a bunch of really shitty articles of like 15 photos that prove you have thalassophobia. Like, no, motherfucker, that's just a picture of a shark. That's a perfectly reasonable fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. A phobia is an unreasonable fear. A fear of open water is an unreasonable fear, because if you see some of the posts are actually quite good, where it's just like a pit and you just can't see the bottom of the water, and you know it's just a pit. It's an isolated body of water, but you're scared as fuck of that body of water because monsters could be there. There's no actual fear of the water. It's like, I can't see the bottom of this. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's a really good definition of like a phobia.
It's that realization that you might, if you do get to the bottom, you might not make it back up.
Yeah. But some of the cave diver pictures, or like the deep sea divers, like the people who are just like, I'm just gonna go snorkeling. Oh, where are you gonna go? Like just out there, and they go, no, I'm gonna go down like 50 feet, like 50 feet. You're like, yeah, 50 feet, and you just go, just free diving, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? They're a different breed of human.
Yeah, they're just completely different people altogether. I wish I could be that kind of person. It's just like, fuck, I'm just going to do it. Like, nah,
I
need to think about things too much.
I'm gonna just sit at the edge of a cliff that like.
Can I send a camera down there so I don't have to risk my own life?
Yeah, that's what I'd do. Like, but actually, now I think about it, drones,
Underwater drones.
yeah.
Submarine drones.
Stop the podcast. We're going to the
Dragon's Den, where the fuck are you?
we're going to the bank. We need to learn why submarine drones.
How many people die because they drown? We just saved their lives.
I'm sorry, you're not giving a loan to heroes.
What, you're not a patriot? Do you not
Sounds
want
like-
your citizens to survive?
Sounds like someone wants the communists to win.
Sounds like someone supports Hitler.
I actually, the 10-year challenge has been annoying the fuck out of me.
Oh, if I get tagged in that one more time, I should legally
Come
be
on,
able to uppercut someone.
Show us your 10-year challenge, though. No.
No.
I don't like pictures of me when I was 18.
Yeah, fuck, that's scary.
Yep.
I'm still 27. So, be pictures from me. From
Either
that
way,
time.
like, that time is
No.
not a good time in anyone's life.
I had long hair and no beard, and I was fat as fuck.
Yeah, if you're a cosplay model and you happen to be kind of emo geeky like 10 years ago, yeah, that's cute in front of post.
Yeah.
When you're just a dude, your 10-year challenge photo is just you added a beard and a bit of grey hair.
Yeah, you might have added or lost a bit of mass, but because of the amount of people that I hang about with, it used to be into the sort of goth and scene and heavy metal
They're
type
pretty
crowd.
funny, aren't they?
It's hilarious. You see people that, I mean, one of the people that I'm friends with on Facebook, one of the most stunning creatures you'll ever see on this planet. She is fucking gorgeous. Then you see her 10 years ago and she's got the weird crimped, multicoloured, bulletproof fringe across her face. And every time I see it, because it gets shared, like, oh my god, you're so brave, you're so courageous, you're so pretty. And the one comment that I fucking hate is when people type someone stunning. I'm like, fuck off with that. Piss off with that bullshit. I just want to type in, yeah, you really lucked out, didn't you? Puberty kicked the shit out of you.
The winners, though, for that, for me anyway, are, well, first of all, I will say Mariah Carey is correct. Her 10-year challenge photo is just the same photo as a joke saying, I don't give a fuck about age. I don't think Mariah Carey has aged.
Oh, yeah,
We were talking about this before we started, and Samuel L. Jackson his mother is being played in the movie Glass. His mum is being played by a woman who is younger than Samuel L. Jackson. You're like, that motherfucker's an age. But Mariah Carey, that is a special type of unaging.
Yeah, that's maybe unnatural.
That's some Keanu Reeves, someone sacrificed a child to Baphomet nonsense going on right there. There was just that picture, and the actual winner, though, is DJI, the people who make the drones, drones. They showed a picture of what drones were like when they made them 10 years ago, and the drones now. And they showed the Mavic 2 Pro. And you're like, that thing is like palm-sized.
Yeah, it's not big at all.
And it has like a 4K camera. And you're like, wow, how the fuck do people fit all this in? They show you the drones from 10 years ago. They literally have a Canon DSLR camera on the front of like a mini helicopter. That was how they took photos. And you can see they've like jerry-rigged everything. You're like, dude, 10-year progress on drones has been insane.
Yeah.
And that's why we need to break into the submarine drone game
Exactly.
right
That's
now.
why we need to do it now. We need to get on top of that now.
Yeah. That's why we're deleting that part of the podcast so nobody can steal the idea.
Exactly.
We're going to win.
We should delete the whole podcast. Burn the studio down.
And we've got to kill James Cameron before he just gets any ideas.
Oh,
He's our closest competitor.
yeah, he is. And speaking of James Cameron, I want a fucking word with him.
Yeah. What do you do?
Alita Battle Angel does not look good.
Which one was that? That was it's like an anime adaptation or something?
I always remember Battle Angel Alita was something that I remember seeing when I was younger. I remember it being it was one of those animes or mangas that was quite dear to people. Now I've seen the Hollywood remake and I just thought, people are not going to be happy with this. Did people not see Ghost in the Shell? Ghost in the Shell was bad.
I'm happier with Hollywood taking a crack at it than I am Netflix.
Oh, yeah. I don't want people to do. It kind of seems like a bit of a cash grab, because it is a cash grab. Just think, right, let's go into that manga and anime market and let's try and make some movies out of that.
Get that weeb money, son.
Get that weeb money. But Ghost in the Shell did not work out well because it was marred in controversy. Now, Battle Angel, or Alita Battle Angel, is set not to work because people think there's too much CGI in it. She's a battle droid with eyes that take up 50% of her face. What part of that does work in film? I get that you need to do stuff to make it work, but I just don't think it's going to be a good movie.
We'll give it a go.
Yeah, I'll wait to see.
Same rules always apply. We'll give it a go, then we'll talk shit about it. And then admit we couldn't do better if we tried ourselves.
Yeah, that's always the important thing. Fair enough, it's called an opinion for a reason. It's my opinion. I could never make movies to the degree James Cameron does, because he made Aliens and Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Two of the greatest movies of all time. And to my mind, the only two sequels that surpassed the original. I'd say the only two sequels that surpassed the original.
Yeah. I keep forgetting if you watched the show or not. Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I watched Game of Thrones.
Did you see the trailer that dropped into the crypts?
I did not know.
It very minimal. It is Jon, Arya, and Sansa Stark going into the crypts under Winterfell, and seeing their father's statue, the mother's statue, and just hearing quotes from them, and then seeing statues for themselves.
All right.
Wait, they're not dead yet. And then you see a creeping mist rolling in. You're like, oh,
winter is indeed coming.
Heavy foreshadowing. Ooh. But I saw that trailer and somebody said, "What do you think of it?" It looks really good, very minimal. I like it. In fact, there's almost nothing involved. Like, there's a bit of editing. There's just people walking down a hallway, reacting to statues, and then reacting to their own statue, then drawing a sword as mist rolls in.
Yeah,
that was like a half a day's work, I guess, on shooting. If they did it right, and then you've made a very effective trailer. I'm waiting for a second one though.
Yeah, there'll be a second one because it starts April, May.
Yeah, I'm waiting for
Somewhere
one with the Lannisters, because I found when I looked at that one, I saw the same channel. I think it's like HBO. I think it's actually HBO's YouTube channel.
Yeah,
they posted a video about December, which was, I think it was Dragonstone, which is one of the, it was showed earlier. It's that place with the giant table map of all of Westeros.
Oh yeah.
They showed that, and from the north it's being frozen, and they make great pains of showing the wolf, which is how Stark's emblem, being frozen, and then that moves south, and then from the south heading north, everything gets engulfed by flames, and they show the lion burning. So the Lannisters.
Yeah.
So I'd expect a kind of counter trailer for the Lannisters in the next week or so. I'd maybe wait a couple weeks, but I'd expect it out by a month's time.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to keep teasing us back, because it has been a while since we've had Game of Thrones on TV. I think
well over a year and a half.
Yeah,
which is nuts.
Yeah, that's weird to think. But I think, especially nowadays with the Marvel shows on Netflix and various other shows, we're used to getting a new series to watch every year. So I think Game of Thrones did the right thing, saying, right, we're going to leave it for a bit, because the season before the last season was heavy. There was a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Better than season 5, where they just decided, fuck it, let's kill Jon Snow and bring him back next episode.
That was over the season break.
Yeah.
That was end of season 5, stab him in the chest repeatedly.
Yeah.
And then episode 1, season 6, ta-da, he's back.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I think it would have been so much more potent to the story if he just stayed dead for a bit, not bring him back immediately. But again, I don't write it.
I think
writers are the most underappreciated people in America, in any kind of drama or any kind of entertainment, so they know what they're doing.
One thing that is being the main critique of people who've read the books is they've sped it up a lot.
Yeah, I don't think they're even at the point where they're getting to in the last series in the books. I don't think George R. R. Martin has got round to.
Well, he's not written it,
putting
but
the brickwork into the final.
He's sat down with the showrunners and said, "This is how it ends. This is who wins. This is how it happens. Go ahead with it. Make the scripts. I'm going to keep writing the book, but I'll do it slightly differently, more to do with stuff that's left on my side of things. Like, there's characters that aren't in there that need to be in the last couple of books, and bits that need to be tied up.
Yeah.
The other thing is, half the stuff that's not being tied up in the books was dealt with in the show.
Yeah.
Like the last season was just like fuck this, done here, moving on, next thing. But yeah, that's been dealt with. Very like I can't imagine how many scripts there are just as like decoys.
Oh yeah.
Because they did the only person who knew about the reaction of like, remember the Star Wars scene where it's like, Luke, I am your father.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones was the first person to know about what was actually going on in that scene. Like Spielberg hid it. Yeah. Lucas hid it from everyone.
Yeah, that's one of my favourite sort of things to do, things to see in a movie, because it's been used in Doctor Who, it's been used in Star Wars, it's been used in the Avengers, because apparently leading up to the tail end in Infinity War, only certain people knew what was going to happen. I think, obviously, specifically in when they're fighting on Titan, I think only Robert Downey Jr. knew what was going to happen. Everyone else just kind of went, yeah, read your scripts now, and they went, oh shit, this is what happens to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Same thing on Wakanda.
Yeah.
I think maybe one person, a couple of people knew this is what's going to happen to these characters, and then, holy shit, Bucky's disintegrating, fucking Groot's disintegrating. So they wanted to get the genuine reactions. I fucking love seeing that, because it kind of gives you that more authentic experience. Because you seen it in the first Alien movie. No one knew that the
chest buster was
going to come out of John Hurt.
Yeah.
Then you see Sigourney Weaver and the rest of them just going, holy shit, what the fuck?
Whoa.
Because apparently at some point somebody picks up a fire extinguisher or a dinner tray. Apparently that's completely genuine. He was ready to smash the fuck out of that thing. It's one of my favourite things to do in any Blu-ray is just watch the director's commentary.
Oh yeah.
And just say, at that point, the actor that plays this guy, he was ready to knock a bitch out. He was terrified.
Director's comments are really underappreciated. And I haven't sat and binged one in a while, but it's probably because I haven't found one for a while that I really wanted to sit down and listen to the director. But there's a few that I'm like, maybe. Like, I wonder if there's one for the Raid. That would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I've got the Blu-rays of the Raid. That might be worth a look.
Genuinely, the last director's commentary that I watched was for The Interview.
All right, yeah.
It's pretty good, but every so often you hear Seth Rogen just go, and it's like, he laughs a lot, because you can tell that him and James Franco were just off their fucking chops. You're laughing at everything. Just particularly the bit in the interview when he shoves the rocket up his ass. I
haven't seen the interview, but that sounds brilliant. I like where this is going.
Yeah. You know what it's about, though. They sneak into Korea.
Yeah.
He has to pick up something, but it comes in a little sort of missile. He has to shove the missile up his ass. And I was saying, filming that, because he got asked it quite a lot during the film, I said, was that unpleasant? He went, no, I didn't shove the thing in my actual ass. I acted that part.
It's called acting.
Yeah, but he did have to put it at his ass, and he said this thing was cold as fuck. At least he didn't have to shove it up his ass.
You gotta kind of hold it.
Yeah.
You gotta make it disappear for the camera's sake, not for,
Fuck.
You can't actually show the shoving, I guess.
You can't. And especially the way it was like a little kind of missile looking thing with all these little protrusions sticking out of it. Like, imagine that going up the butt.
Oh, no, the problem with that is not in the butt, out the butt. You got me thinking of cat dicks at this point. Cat dicks have the little,
the little spine
prongs going back.
Yeah.
Dude, no.
Yeah.
That's an argument either against God or against the idea that God is loving and kind.
That God is. I don't know how we got on this conversation. Got onto cat dicks, but speaking of cat dicks,
it was rockets in the interview.
Rockets nest. But a couple of friends of mine, they were looking for a new pet because originally they were moving out of their old house. They couldn't take the dog with them, so they had to get rid of the dog. Mm-hmm. It was a huge sort of pretty bad moment for them. So they thought, right, we're going to go and get a new pet. So they were looking at getting a cat.
Yeah.
Recently, we all went into their new place, all set up. Place is looking really nice. And they said, right, this is our cat, Opie. Oh, cool. Opie's like this big, massive fucking thing, like white and ginger cat. They went, oh, by the way, watch out, he doesn't bite you. And I went, oh, right, it's a cat, watch out, he doesn't bite you. And you went, no, he has feline HIV. Or feline intravenous, or whatever it is. FIV, yeah.
Yeah.
I was being the loving, caring man that I am. I'm always good towards my friends. I completely understood and said, yeah, that's a good cat to get. Did I fuck? I said, why can't you just get a normal cat?
Did the shelter run out of normal cats?
Yeah, did they run out of cats that didn't have FIV?
It's like the worst joke in Dan Harmon's podcast was that he got a cat with a girlfriend and they went and got one with FIV because it was like, well, worst case scenario, it dies in a year and we'll move on with our lives and get an actual pet. we'll use this one as like a training bet. The cat's still around 7 years later. The girlfriend isn't. He just has a cat with cat aids that just kind of runs around the house.
Yeah.
And he's like, great, I love the cat so much, but at the same time, got cat aids. Like, it's not going to end well.
Yeah.
Horrific.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I don't know why I find that one so funny. It's just something about the fact you would get a cat, assuming it would be dead, and then somehow, like, it was
survives longer than the relationship.
Yep.
That's just kind of happens with Dan Harmon. Most of his stuff is just, the bad thing happened. Yeah, the bad thing happened, didn't it?
Yeah. What a surprise. The bad thing happened to Dan Harmon.
Yeah. He's just such a cheery man. I'm surprised more good things don't happen to him.
I'm still waiting to see how this 70 episode run of Rick and Morty that he was commissioned to do by Adult Swim is going to affect his life.
Yeah,
I don't think this ends well.
No.
We've been, a friend of mine who is now in Canada, we've been taking, we took bets way back when he was making Community on whether or not making Community would kill him. We lost that bet, but the bet we've kind of just kept going with it, and we keep doubling down. At this point, I'm pretty sure somebody owes somebody about 50 quid. We'll see. I get the feeling that I'm going to win this one with the 70 episodes. We'll see.
It's like the only bet I've ever made with someone is it's still an ongoing bet. A friend of mine from uni said he started drinking one night and he said, I will never touch a single drop of alcohol again. And I went, you're in university. I'm pretty sure I could get you a drink at some point. I went, do you want to put money on it? I went, sure. 50 quid, I can get you a drink. Get you a drink before the end of the 4 years. And I went, you're on. Shit, you know, a week later, he paid up because we were out for lunch. Had the rest of we were off for a week or something like that, and I went, anybody want to get the drinks in? And I sure, I'll get this. And I put the beer down, and I just kind of like, everyone's like, he's not going to drink it. He's like, you're here. He's going to try and get the 50 quid out of you. Minutes later, he just came up to me with a 50 quid note and went, here. It's like, fucking told you, you're in university in Scotland. There's no way you're going to get away with it sober.
You can't get away with this one.
No. And I worked away 50 quid the richer.
Have you had any encounters with dry January people?
Oh, fucking everywhere. Was it one of the very few places that I actually hang out that isn't university or here, the rugby club. I went in to get the round for people. It's like massive fucking tray of drinks, and some old seed pit bitch that has no fucking like inclination and had no fucking steering in this conversation just came over and went, have you ever considered dry January? I went, no. I'm going to take these beers over at this table.
No, I just meant like, have you tried with somebody who just is doing dry January? Because right now they're starting to get stressed. But you met somebody who saw you carrying a tray of drinks and said, it's time for me to intervene.
Yeah, it's just, she had no bearing on the conversation. She had nothing to do with me. I never fucking met her before. In the rugby club, had a tray, just had about 8 or 9 pints on the table, on the tray. And she went, I think it might be time for you to consider, or have you ever considered doing dry January? I just kind of went, nah, not going to do it. Went and put the drinks down. And she seen that as, I must convince this young man, and followed me over and decided to address a table full of rugby players who just played a game, were fucking knackered. We just wanted to strap on the feed bag and throw back a couple of pints. And she's going, gentlemen, this is too much. And I went, it's not enough. We're sore as hell and we're hungry as hell. We want a drink.
Lady, this is called buying a few rounds so we don't have to get up because our legs don't work anymore.
Exactly. I mean, it wasn't even I think there was, I bought a pint, one for each person at the table. It's like, we're going to go up and get another round, but I'm just being sociable. It's my round. I ain't going to back away. So, and she stayed there for a good 20 minutes. And like, eventually, one of the guys was at the table. His missus came over and just went, you need to go.
Yeah.
You realise you're in a rugby club. Because we were all sitting there not paying attention to her as she chatted away at one of us. Then girl comes over and says, yeah, get out. Like, you're not welcome here.
Yeah. I think there needs to be a weird thing of like, it's British politeness to just kind of say, thank you for your opinion, and not throw the person like just to the door.
Yeah.
But I do think there needs to be a point where you say, look, you're uninvited.
Yeah.
You're not welcome.
You're not with anyone. That was another weird thing. She was in there on her own. Like this 45-year-old woman in there on her own. I don't know if she was meeting people or she was just maybe, I'll go into this hostelry and I'll have myself a nice imbibement. No, why the fuck were you in there? You just coming here to lecture some rugby players who are pretty hard drinkers at the best of times.
Yeah.
their way is not the truth. Maybe she was trying to offload some Gideon's Bibles or something like that. And she just thought this would be a good place to do it.
I just nah. It's a
fucking
weirdly
annoys me.
pushy person. I don't like that.
I just it's why it's been shattered quite a lot recently. The idea of the pushy vegan.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see that anymore. I've seen it a couple of times where people just go, "No, you're eating too much meat. You're eating too." I get that we're eating too much meat.
Yeah.
But most people that I meet nowadays that are vegan, they just go, "You ever consider that?" And I've had a few genuine conversations with people, particularly in Edinburgh, when it's basically just a cultural melting pot. You're never going to meet three people the same. Like, one person's going to be vegan, the other one's going to eat nothing but frying pans, the other one's going to be your quote unquote regular normal dude who eats burgers and chicken and what have you.
Yeah.
The frying pan fucker can get out. If he's getting his nutrition from Tefal frying pans.
Let's wait and see him eat a frying pan first. I mean, we want to see a freak show here.
Yeah, just if you can eat that whole frying pan, sure.
I'll pay for the frying pan.
I'll pay for the goddamn frying pan.
I'll pay Tefal, son. I'll pay Tefal.
I'll buy you another round of frying pans if you can eat one frying pan.
I actually, because we talked about it last week, one of the things that I've seen as a rise to obviously the meat eating issue we talked about last week has been obviously the push of the vegans, and you're like, okay, crazy vegan people, go sit down. Yeah. There's vegetarians still there, and then I've seen this thing, and it's called what's it called? Flexitarianism.
Flexitarianism.
It's not saying don't eat meat. It's saying eat less meat, and we will make products to accommodate that.
Yeah.
And I've actually spent this week eating flexitarian burgers, which is still a beef patty, but mixed in there is pinto beans. I like pinto beans because they're part of burritos. Just a good source of protein. Yeah. And it's one of those things that's a good substitute for meat. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a go.
I'll give it a try.
It's fine. Tastes great. And it's an interesting alternative to have. It's like a barbecue flavoured thing. So it's soaked in barbecue sauce, like the minces.
Yeah.
Then it's all mulched in with a bunch of pinto beans. And it's just set out in regular patties.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Breaks up the texture a little bit, which can be a bit off-putting, but once you get used to it, you're like, oh, it's fine. Chuck on a couple slices of cheese, jalapenos, hot sauce, whatever.
Whatever you're poisoning, it's just good burger.
Just a regular burger with some weird crunchy bits inside. So, worth the shot.
Good, actually, yeah. I think it's getting to the point where the problem with our overconsumption of meat is just people are too used to it. This is what they've been raised on.
Yeah.
So I think trying something different probably won't be the worst thing, because I know over the past couple of years I've definitely made a conscious effort to try and eat less of a certain type of meat. And I know the worst thing for it is chicken. We eat way too much chicken just as a general society.
But it's so good.
It tastes so damn good. I don't eat as much beef anymore because one thing I realised in Scotland, you can't really get good cuts of beef. We get obviously the silver sides come out round about Christmas, but you can't really get that year round.
Yeah.
And I don't eat lamb because I went off lamb in a bad way.
A lot of people go off lamb because they have a horrible story at an Indian restaurant. As most of the times I've heard somebody go, I used to enjoy lamb, but not anymore. Why? What happened? Well, this one time I visited this restaurant, and the next day I never left the bathroom.
Oh, yeah. If people, I've heard quite a few stories of people having a really, really bad or really, really overly spicy lamb Rogan Josh and just emptying it.
I was talking about food poisoning.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that, yeah.
My one is I stepped away. I rarely have bacon. Can't stand bacon anymore. I don't know what it is. It's just a high fat content.
Confession to make.
Yeah.
Can't eat bacon.
Yeah.
Yep. Can't eat bacon.
Just out there.
It's the salt and the grease. If it's been dried, i.e. removed all flavour, I can eat it, but it's getting to the point where I haven't eaten that much bacon for a while. It doesn't really affect me.
Okay.
It's the fat, the salt, and the grease. It just kind of works together. It just make a punching bag out of my old man's fucking stomach.
The medallions are okay, which is when you get the bacon, that's like the big circle bit at the top.
Yeah, they're basically just really, really flat gammon steaks.
Yeah, and actually, real man's bacon is called gammon steak, so, get on with it. Are you able to eat gammon steaks?
I don't like gammon steak.
No, you don't. But you're supposed to have pineapple on it.
No. No. Have a fried egg on it like a real man.
No, I put on top of my gammon steak another gammon steak.
Yeah, that's
like a real man.
That's a man's gammon steak.
I did that the other day. I was like, I opened the packet and I'm like, I can eat 2 gammon steaks in one sitting. Fuck it.
When you rip the packet and you can't put another one back, I can eat 2.
Yeah, I'll figure this out.
Done that with steaks. I had these packet of butcher steaks. You know how they come in a little polystyrene tray that cover with the cling film?
Yeah, the saran wrap, yeah.
Yeah, I basically cracked that. I didn't have any other tubs. Because at that point I got really into meal prep.
Oh, right,
It's something I don't do a lot now. But there was Monday, it was like chicken and rice. Tuesday, pasta with tomato sauce. And just I'd used all the lunch boxes in my house. I thought, fuck, I've got these 2 steaks. I have the house to myself. I can't divvy these up with other people. If I cook it and leave it in the fridge, I guarantee I'm not going to go back to it.
Yeah.
I can take down 2 steaks. Yeah, I made them the way I like it. I made it blue. I cooked everything, but made the peppercorn sauce. I didn't have any chips because I'm trying to avoid chips.
Yeah.
I realised I don't like chips, especially the chip shop chips. I don't like them.
I like them after several pints. That's about it.
Oh, I do. I go for the kebab.
I have to stay away from kebabs just because it's so much fat.
Oh yeah, it's the fact that you wake up in the morning, your face feels greasy, and you know for a fact you're just going to be spotty like a teenager.
Yeah, and as bearded gentlemen, there may be the issue of like wax
like,
or like fat disappearing into the beard.
Yeah, it's like,
and then
here's
snapping out later.
Here's a bit of red cabbage that I didn't know was in there.
No, there was. We used to go to there was a local place that was just down the road. It's been replaced and taken over.
Bonus?
In Linlithgow.
And let's go.
And at one point we used to get like the doner kebab calzones, and I love those things.
Yeah.
I'm talking like all the hot sauce, all the onions, all the everything. Give me what you got.
Yeah, just put all of it into an inverted pizza.
Yeah, and we used to munch these things, and it was when I was eating one, I could see the fat like pouring out of the thing onto the box. I was like, no, I can't eat. Like, this is my last one. I'm done. Yeah. Occasionally I'll go back and have like doner meat as part of something else.
Yeah.
But calzones or doner kebab calzones, it's too much.
Yeah, I actually had you know when you have those conversations with people when you say, look, something needs to change.
Yeah.
My older brother, he got in a really bad way. When he first started his job, he would come home. He'd come home at, say, 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, basically sleep for most of the day, miss dinner, then wake up at, say, 8 or 9 o'clock at night and just like, right, I'm going to get something. And he would always order a doner calzone.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where he was doing that shift so 4 or 5 times a week. And he kept having doner calzones. And it took my oldest brother's wife, my sister-in-law, to come in and say, look, this is what you're eating. She's a nursery nurse, so she's always got access to rubber gloves and medical supplies and stuff. She just pulled a pair of rubber gloves out of her pocket, cut the calzone in half and just squeezed it.
Yeah.
And went, this is what you're eating. And it was just chili. It was chili covered grease.
That's the thing, is that the fat comes out and it's orange.
Yeah.
And I looked at it because it was on the board.
Just oil, nasty.
I was on the
oil.
box and I was like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
And then I moved the box up somewhere. I'm done. I've had my meal. And I left it out the box and it poured out the corner onto my jeans. I ruined a pair of jeans with kebab fat. And I was like, okay, I was done before. Now I'm fucking
done.
Now somebody's in trouble. So yeah, I totally empathise with the fact that you can squeeze a calzone and the juices come out. And then 30 seconds later, they're solid.
Yeah.
And that's what
that
comes
horrible
out.
kind of white congealed substance that just kicks. Yeah, so that basically scared my brother straight away. Yeah, I'm not doing it anymore.
That's why I don't eat Lorne sausage meat anymore. The amount
I have
of
it in
fat.
stovies, but when you boil it in stovies, it kind of gets a bit better. But we get really good cuts of Lorne sausage. We have to. There's a butcher out in Alloa.
All right.
That my dad's been going to for years to get bridies, and I get bridies have this kind of stigma of just being, it's all just fat and shite. But if you get good steak bridies, which is basically a steak pie folded, and
steak pie calzone.
Basically a steak pie calzone. Yeah, I'll give you the name of the place if you're ever out in Alloa.
That actually might be more doable than you think.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. It got to when we were younger, it was always that place that we'd be willing to road trip to.
Yeah,
just to stock up on these bridies, and they do a fucking mean, and I mean a mean macaroni pie.
I don't get macaroni pies.
It's just.
I'm sorry. I know it's a lot of people's it's a dirty little like secret of some people. They're like, I could really fucking murder a macaroni pie.
I just crunch in a food. So taking macaroni and cheese, which, if you do it right, you can maybe put the layer of the crunch on top with a little bit of burnt cheese. If you stick it under the grill for something 5 minutes just to cook that cheese, but just having the pastry element to it. Oh, yeah. Always black pepper through it though.
And the thing for me though is that
it's not good for you.
My mum and dad make damn good mac cheese, so we've got the homegrown stuff that's better than we'll find in a store bought pie, even a butcher's bought pie. I'm not breaking away from the family tradition of making like a whole ass tray of mac and cheese and then it mysteriously disappearing over the course of like an hour.
Just you're sitting upstairs like, fuck off, mum, it's mine.
Like, I pulled it from the oven while it's still hot. That means it's mine.
I have third-degree burns on my hands, mother. It's mine now.
This is mine.
We tried recently. It was one of those. I went through a weird stage of just trying different recipes that I'd seen on Facebook, because my Facebook feed was just bombarded with different recipes. Like, here you can make beer tin chicken. You can make, what was it? Chocolate nachos, like chocolate pizza. I'm never going to try that. I used to have a bit of a sweet tooth, but it's kind of subsided now. But the one that I did see was Terry Crews put up a recipe for a kind of spicy mac and cheese.
Okay.
And I thought, I need to try this. It sounds fucking amazing. But what he did was he take your regular sort of glass Pyrex pan, coat it with coconut oil at the bottom, throw in, like, kind of leave that. That's going to be your base. Then you get spread and cheese, just your regular Philadelphia. Chuck that in. You get some paprika. You chuck that in as well. You get some cheddar or mozzarella. Chuck that in as well. Mix it up. Boil off your macaroni. Chuck that into the pot.
Yeah.
Then mix in your paprika, mozzarella, cheddar mixture.
I think I've seen this. This is his cheat day meal, isn't it?
Yeah. And you just eat that. I made that, I think it was August or something last year.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it's good.
Yeah.
Just with the paprika adding a little bit of a tang to it. And you've got the different kind of cheeses. Holy shit, it was good. I definitely recommend it. It is complete indulgence. You could not have that every day.
But it is a cheat day meal.
It is definitely a cheat day meal. And if anyone knows about cheat day meals, it's Terry Crews. Dude's huge, and he's in his 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and The Rock are just like that. They've got it down to a sweet science.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about spicy foods because I found a way of making jerky, and I tried it, and it works.
It works nice.
The trick is, as we mentioned earlier, getting good cuts of beef in Scotland is kind of tricky. And I found a couple places that do the right stuff. All I'm looking for basically is like stir fry type meat. I've got some more beef through there that I'm going to try out with. I think it might be a bit too chunky. It might work, it might not. Only one way to find out, and that's unfortunately having to eat an entire half kilo of jerky. So we'll find out.
What a shame. God damn.
Somebody's got to do it, Dom.
The things I do for this goddamn show.
Yeah. So yeah, I tried it out. Only thing is the batch that I made was incredibly spicy. That's why there's none left for you.
Ah, right, good.
Yeah. I
was going to ask,
yeah.
but I thought, right, it's Colin. He likes to dabble with the spice.
I want to make.
I genuinely think you could go on hot ones and just go, that wasn't that bad. Everyone else was pissing sweat and wasn't that bad.
I don't think the thing is though that I do sweat, and it comes out in buckets.
Yeah.
And it comes out all over the face, and it is just non-stop, and I will get hysterical, like I'll start laughing at myself because it's so ridiculous. I'm like, I love spices. Doesn't mean I'm immune to this shit.
Yeah.
It definitely hits. I just find it funny. I don't go like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. I just go, idiot.
I'm a moron.
Fucking moron did this to himself.
I'm going to have to put the toilet paper in the fridge.
Same fucking moron who's taking another scoop of this. Why are you doing this to yourself, you moron?
It tastes so good.
Tastes so spicy.
Your nose is bleeding.
I did this, and I was like, I got the jerky to work. And now I'm thinking to myself, of all the different types of jerky flavors that I've tried, now I'm thinking, could I actually use the habanero, the jalapeno peppers that I've got sitting next door, and somehow incorporate that into the thing? So this is going to get dangerous fast. So I'm also going to try and make you a separate batch of just more general kind of biltong.
I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, you'd appreciate not bleeding.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Not having to go to the local shop, pick up a 2-pack of toilet paper and stick that shit in the freezer. It was always something in my house that we did because Stovies Stovies is my favourite meal. If I'm on death row, I'm having a bucket of Stovies.
Yeah,
it's basically just meat and potatoes.
Yeah,
it's lawn sausage, but lawn sausage and potatoes. You mix in some pepper and just basically boil that off. The traditional way to make it is with onions. When I was growing up, I would never fuck with onions. I still don't fuck with onions. Can't stand them.
Really?
I don't fuck with onions. No.
I legitimately just have onions in an omelette. That's it.
Yeah, I've seen that. One thing I've actually have started putting in my omelettes is peppers. Make it a little Spanish omelette. Yeah, it just tastes really good. I have a lot of omelettes.
Yeah, it's a good meal.
It's so easy to make.
Yeah.
Just crack it in a pan, crack it into a tub, whisk it, pour it in, boom.
See, I do like onions, a little spicy paprika, just little in there and just mix it in.
Yeah, quite a lot of people do that with your sort of hot sauces. Take a couple of dabs of, say, your regular whatever,
Tabasco.
Tabasco, that's
Yeah.
the one. Thank you. Tabasco, your srirachas. Cholula, I've heard, is quite good for it as well.
Cholula's phenomenal.
Just
There's
take a couple of dabs in that.
It's a very mild, so you actually enjoy it because it's more about the flavour.
Yeah.
And also there's a Cholula smoky one.
Yeah, I've seen that in the burrito place in Falkirk.
Yeah, and it's also available in like Asda.
Really?
Yeah, it's available in like a couple of different places. I think it's either Asda or Tesco also have it. You can find it at different places.
Oh, I'm sitting damning and blasting onions. Tell you what I did try recently, and I thought this was just a fucking flavour revelation. Pico de gallo.
Okay, what's pico de gallo?
It's basically a salsa, but it's chopped onions and tomatoes mixed with a regular sort of salsa sauce.
Okay.
You get it at the burrito place in Falkirk.
Yeah.
Blanking on the name.
Of the burrito place.
Oh yeah, I know, but yeah.
No.
Yeah, you can get it in there because I think it's under the mild salsa. I just put some pico in there. It's not spicy at all, but it adds an extra bit of flavour. The red onion and the tomato and the sauce and something, you don't really taste the onion as much.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking delicious.
You could sit and munch on that like as
Yeah, just give me some Doritos or give me some crisps and just sit and munch that as a dip.
I was gonna say, would that work as like a health cleanse thing?
Oh, I'd clear you out.
If I just sit there and eat a tub of that shit, like
You'd
I'm gonna come out glowing on the other side, aren't I? Yeah.
Your skin's it's going to be a chemical peel for the soul.
How much? What do you eat? Nothing but vitamin C.
Yeah. I have seen the universe.
It is a fascinating place, and yet it bores me.
I am done with this plane of reality. I
Just
shall move
phase
on.
out.
You just become a body of light and just shoot up through the ceiling. Ta-ta, mother. Ta-ta, siblings.
Mr. Stark, I do feel good. We will never stop referencing that movie until this podcast fucking dies in the ditch.
Yep. Until we get no subscribers left.
What's the other thing? Stuff I was like, really gotta bring this up. Oh yeah, movie night.
Movie night.
Did movie night.
You said you were going to have a movie night. What were the movies that you were going to watch again?
We were unsure about the third one, but we were going to watch The Night Comes For Us, which is a Malaysian martial arts film, which is heavily casted with members of The Raid, which I mentioned before is a great movie that I love.
Cool.
And that was just non-stop. Like, again, another like absolute battering of an action film.
Yeah.
Almost non-stop. And the moments it does take to stop are really good. Like, it's just kind of like, okay, everybody take a breather, and now we're going to fight to the death.
And then we're going to quickly reload, and we're going to bring out the knives again.
And there was weird, like, it was a lot more to do with the underworld, because it's the majority of it is filmed from the point of view of a triad, like former like top tier gang member.
Yeah.
Who's part of what's called the 6 C's, who are 6 triad like elites who were sent to protect Chinese triad interests with drug smuggling, human trafficking, like weapons trafficking in the Chinese area or the Malaysian area, and they have a one of those guys basically goes rogue, and people come after him, and that's the premise of the film. Is that guy trying to escape or try to get rid of a little girl who he goes rogue to save a little girl. And then getting her safely out of town is the entire premise of the movie. You're like, okay, what's going to happen here?
All right.
Absolute fucking madness is going to happen.
Mayhem.
So, yeah, that was another just like, if you love The Raid, The Night Comes For Us is on Netflix. There are a lot worse ways to spend 90 minutes.
Nice.
I'll say that for free. And then we watched Sabrina.
All right.
Yeah, this was weird.
This was another Malaysian film, right?
Yeah, don't know why we're on a Malaysian kick, but every time we see a Malaysian film, we're like, this is going to be great or complete garbage. This one fell in the kind of...
roll the dice on this one.
Yeah, we rolled the dice and it came out complete garbage. Yeah, it was confusing, I think is the best way of doing this.
Confusing.
Like, we just had no idea. Like,
Right, you just didn't know what the hell was going on.
we knew what characters were doing. Everything was all very kind of laid out and like, okay, now they're fighting the demon with this thing. I've never seen a demonic possession film be so heavy on the like they're gonna go fight the demon, and they fight the demon constantly throughout the movie. Because normally, if we were to like have our own, if we're gonna make a movie about demonic possession, the first 60
Demonic
minutes,
possession of our submarine roads.
yeah. I want to try and name it off the top of my head, but I really just can't. We'll figure it out later. After we sort the drones, we then make the movie promoting the drones but also we have one good drone. No, okay, moving on.
No. We need to workshop this. We have one good drone that has the virus anti-vaccine or the antivirus that's going to cleanse the other bad drones.
Yeah,
that are secretly trying to combine and make one kind of mega Voltron drone.
That's secretly James Cameron, but he also
James
directs
Cameron's face. The drone Voltron has James Cameron's face, but the rest of it looks like Voltron from the old 80s cartoon.
I normally, if we do if we were to do a 90-minute demonic possession film, I would not show you the demon until minute 60. The first 60, the first 10 minutes would be just like, oh, let's set up the characters, show the family, whatever. Yeah. And then stuff would just get progressively creepier. And then it wouldn't
maybe have some kind of whoosh shots, like you see the thing darting past the window, or you see.
I know, like if it's demonic possession, like the demon's just in the house.
All right, yeah, you'd have to.
So you just crank up creepy shit.
To it.
Yeah, and you would hint to stuff, and you would allude to things, and you would.
Maybe you look in a mirror, you think you see the demon, but you don't.
And somebody finds an old book, and oh my god, this house belongs to
his grandma.
Yeah,
bitch slapped by a demon.
And then we go at about minute 60, it's going to go full demonic possession, and there's going to be 10 minutes of absolute madness where 2/3 of the cast die, and it's down to the little girl who's possessed and ripping people's faces off, and then it's down to the 3 people who will survive the movie. One of them will probably lose on a leg or some shit like that. It'll take to minute 75 for somebody to know what to do, for somebody to go, oh my god.
Yeah, because you need to have that kind of headless chicken scene.
Yeah, oh my god, we found the book again. And there's a missing page, but we found the page as well. It was in a portrait of fucking grandma or some shit, who turns out to be a demon hunter. There's a demon hunting knife in the fridge. Yeah. Let's go get the demon hunting knife and stab the demon, even though it's our child, but it'll be fine if we stab her in the leg.
The demon hunting knife is always called something biblical, like, this is the sword of Saint Michael.
We will get to biblical shit in a minute.
Oh, fuck. I was just making a joke, but I didn't know there was going to be some biblical shit in this. God damn
it. And then, the last 5 minutes, we'll wrap it all up. Or will we dun so we can get a sequel?
Yeah.
That's the general plot of most of those demonic movies. The thing for this one is, right out the gate.
Is the demon just hanging out?
Well, there's a pre-credits thing of the demon killing the main daughter's mum.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was what was going on. It took Michael stopping the movie and explaining that to me. I was like, oh, that was her mum. I thought that was somebody else. Oh, I thought it was a whole other household. I was like, oh no, she was there as a much younger child, and that's why she doesn't have mum and dad, because they both died during the demon attack.
Ah, right.
That makes a bit more sense, but the demon becomes obsessed with the little girl, and other stuff happens, so it comes back to infect the aunt, and it pops between different characters. It also pops between the Sabrina doll, which is the most terrifying fucking doll I've ever seen.
Right.
Mostly because it looks like Weird Al Yankovic.
It's going to sing parody tunes at you. It's going to make you feel uncomfortable.
It's not the only thing that makes you uncomfortable. The whole, all the dolls look like Weird Al, but for some reason they also added extra crimps to the hair on the girl's doll because it's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks exactly fucking like him. Once I saw that ruined the move for me. But it just so happens that the family who take her in, she gets taken in by her uncle, and he has his girlfriend or his fiance, or it's her aunt now, and they happen to own the toy factory that makes the Sabrina dolls.
Right.
And so there's a scene in the factory with the Sabrina dolls, while people are being possessed by the demon that jumps from the Sabrina doll, out to the house, then back to the Sabrina doll, then into different people, then always keeps going back to the Sabrina doll. It takes 75 minutes. Everyone in this movie seems to know what they're doing, except for where is the demon hiding, and it's in the doll.
It's in the doll the whole time.
Yeah. Which would be a great twist if you hadn't called the movie fucking Sabrina. Because it's the Sabrina doll. You kind of spoiled that one by yourself.
Yeah.
The whole, I said, we'll get to the crazy thing. They're obviously defeating the demon by the power of the Almighty Creator, God, who has never been defeated. They keep rattling off these praises, which just basically show him up to basically be, the from Warhammer 40k, the God Emperor of mankind.
Yeah.
It's the kind of shit people would say about him. It's just fucking nuts. Absolutely ludicrous.
He never got his ass kicked.
Except for that heresy.
Horse heresy.
Horse heresy.
Abaddon. Various other bad guys.
One big orc.
Demons everywhere.
There was like a series of like weird scenes where the demon appears in different bodies and gets prayed out of existence, but also at the same time they like hold the person down using rosary beads, or like it's weird. I say it's all like very Christian and gaudy. I don't think they got the license for Jesus. They don't reference God, Jesus, or the Christian faith specifically. When I say rosary beads, it's just the beads. There's no crucifix. Maybe it's a Malaysian religion.
Could be.
There's hundreds of thousands of cultures in that area alone. Maybe it's one of those.
Yeah.
But it kind of seems like they're going the Christian angle.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. I don't know exactly where they were going with this, but if they are going Christian, they didn't have the budget for the actual Christ license. So yeah, that was a weird twist on the film. But they hold the person in place with these like bead chains, and that ends up decapitating someone. As the demon gets lifted up to heaven, the woman pulling down, and you just see the beads start to glow hot, and then just through the head, through the neck. And there's a weird scene where the head's bouncing off. The body lifts away and disintegrates into ash.
Uh-huh.
The head doesn't. Why? It's nothing's ever explained. It's just next thing. We got to move on.
Fuck, there's our head. We got to move on. We only got 90 minutes for this movie, and we're at 85.
Actually, I just realised they left a severed head in the child's bedroom. Who went back to clean that up? Okay. There's a lot to
That's a new doll. That's Sabrina 2.0.
Such a realistic face.
What did you get for Christmas? I got another Sabrina doll. What did you get? The severed head of my aunt.
Don't ask any more questions, okay?
She's just turning around and like puppeting it. She's moving the mouth up and down.
I love you, Cindy. No, not again.
Thank you, aunt.
The actually there's a good scene where at the start of this all gets explained by or they all like this all starts because somebody plays a game called Charlie, which is not quite a Ouija board. It's
they look in the mirror and they do the
no
it's the pencil.
It's the pencils. It's just like a square and it says yes on the top left and bottom right diagonals, and then no on the top right and bottom left.
Right.
And it says, Charlie, can blah, blah, blah happen? Charlie, will I see my mum again? Pencil spins to yes. Charlie, will I see my mum soon? Pencil spins to yes. Something in my head clicks at this point, because the second question, I'm like, the animation's the same. They use the same fucking animation for the pen spinning to yes 7 times in the film.
Fucking hell.
They never spin it to no. It pissed me off so much. I wouldn't mind so much, but there's 3 different scenes where it's used. Once in the playground with the little fat kid who gets slagged off for being fat because they somehow make the demon that he's contacting reveal bad information about his mum or something, like his mum hits him or something, and the kids laugh at him for that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty harsh.
They're not good kids.
No.
They summon demons, they're not good kids.
Yeah, they're clearly not good kids.
Same animation there. That's where I spotted it. Mm-hmm. The girl then takes the game home, because of course she would, and
A wholesome family game.
she has it on her bed. And the same movement happens again and again and again. And I wouldn't mind so much, but there's like a big, like the thing, like when it's in the playground, it's on concrete. When it's on her bed, it's on her bed. They clearly had to remake the entire thing to make the graphics move. Why did they not at least have a couple no's? Or at least, like, it's the exact same animation. The pencil moves the exact same amount every time.
The exact same weight each time.
Just like a little wiggle, like a little. It goes back a little bit and then goes back down to the same place. That would have thrown me off the
It's not hard
scent.
to kind of make a little rig that just has the pencil move a different way each time.
It's done digitally. But the thing is, once you got that thing done digitally, you, the editor, could go back in, pause it, reverse it a little bit, and then have it play forward again.
Yeah, you can fuck around with it.
You could fuck with it. They do the same thing like 7 times. It pissed me off so much. I don't know why. It was one of the things, like, I latched on the little thing. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill this movie for this one little trope.
Yeah. But then again, when someone makes it clear to you that in Dragon Ball Z they reuse a lot of shots, and they do the kind of panning distance shots to save an animation, that kind of sticks out to you.
Yeah. Well, I noticed the same thing with the Gundam where they used the same shot twice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, damn, son.
Even in the newer Gundam shows, they reuse a lot of the sort of dashing animations.
Yeah.
Like if there's a Gundam, just because there's always this thing in Gundam shows where they reach for the sword behind them, and they do the kind of slash down that covers the full screen with like a green or pink or blue light or something.
Yeah.
I noticed that in a Gundam Unicorn. They've reused that a few times. Like the slash animation and the shooting animation when he shoots the beam magnum when he's in Gundam Unicorn, they've reused that a couple of times.
That might actually with that one series, that might be a deliberate kind of callback. Like they've done that on purpose to say it's just like the good old days. It's just as shit as the good old days.
Yeah, that's the thing about Gundam Unicorn. It is exactly the same as the good old days. There is nothing different about that TV show except the fact that the animation looks great.
But with Sabrina, the demonic possession stuff's weird. The CGI is bugging, and everyone also gets
worse or better than Dawn of the Day of the Dead of the Bloodlines. Can't even remember the problem. Is it Dawn of the Dead Bloodlines or Day of the Dead Bloodlines?
I'm gonna say it's better.
Better, marginally.
Yes, and I do like the fact that the demon jumps into different bodies, and it does different stuff when it's in different bodies because it realizes like it possesses a couple women, but then it has issues like breaking down doors because the women aren't big; they're just tiny little women. Obviously, actually, notice the demon had an issue with doors in general. Like everyone in this movie is basically defeated by a door until the demon possesses a guy and then kicks the shit out the door.
It's like the Doctor Who principle. The Doctor's meant to be one of the smartest beings in the universe. He's something like 10,000 years old at this point. He has one of the most powerful weapons on the planet in the sonic screwdriver that can disrupt matter at a molecular level, but it cannot unlock a wooden door.
Blow a hole in the door.
He doesn't like weapons. Or she doesn't like weapons.
Yeah, if you can disrupt stuff at molecular level, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Disrupt the door at molecular
something about
level.
wooden doors. The sonic screwdriver does not work on wooden doors. Fucking strange.
We were watching this and the demon possesses a guy and immediately starts ragdolling people around the room.
Just starts uppercutting people.
Lobs somebody through a window. It was like fucking hilarious. Later on, though, it possesses the aunt, who we've been waiting for a long time to see what happens when she gets possessed. At one point, and this we laughed our asses off at it because it was so goofy when it happened. But I was actually thinking about it the other night. I was like, that's the creepiest part in the movie. The way it moves when it possesses the aunt, where she's on the ground, or they realize that she's possessed. They knock her at the ground, and she takes one of them with her. And the girl she takes with her is the demon hunter. She starts to crawl away to get safety. She starts scooting herself on her ass, like a dog.
Yeah, you see kids do that. They just kind of bum shuffle. Yeah,
toddler bum shuffle along the ground, and she's smiling like a maniac the whole time. And we laughed our asses off at it. That's still in my head though.
Maybe she has an itchy ass and she found that really good bit.
But
she's oh god, wait, I'm in a movie.
She's doing this thing where she's manically smiling the whole time. That's the creepiest fucking thing in that movie. Is there's this one scene where she's shuffling herself around.
This is during the possession of the aunt. Right?
She's possessed by the demon and she's shuffling herself around, smiling like a fucking maniac. Yeah. And it's like a tracking shot across. You see the women, the demon hunter start to kind of crawl away. She's trying to get safety. And then you see the demon shuffle itself back and then shuffle along in the background. But she's smiling the whole time. You can see her. She's looking at the camera. And I'm like, that is frozen in my head. And it was weirdly effective. I'm like, bravo, creepy movie, bravo. You did
one thing right.
Yeah. And I won't spoil the ending because I don't want to say it's worth a watch because it's not great. There's a lot of flaws in it. And I don't think we actually understand what happened when we sat down to watch it. But it was fun, I guess. It's good to see a different culture's take on demonic possession because our stuff is all fairly standard. The ideal, our 90-minute demon movie I just pitched you is every 90-minute demon movie.
Every Western 90-minute demon movie.
And this is just something that's kind of weirder and creepier and different. So it was weird.
I kind of want to see a demonic possession movie where it's the preacher or the Christian sort of reverend that gets possessed, but he doesn't let it on. They're saying there's a demonic presence in this room.
Oh, so it's kind of counter-espionage.
Yeah, I want to see
demonic counter-espionage.
Yeah, I want to see
I'm
that.
down for that one, yeah.
That'd be pretty cool, but it would have to be done right. They'd need to get a horror master in to do it properly, I think.
Yeah. And then we watched Riddick. That was the third movie. I gotta say,
so fucking bad.
You gotta admire the hustle on Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
He had to work for 13 years to get that thing made, and
And he got that.
Ugh, you can see that he made that movie. Like, there's the best part of that movie is when the two teams of bounty hunters show up, and they know Riddick's hunting them, and the camera basically steps away from Riddick, because the start of the movie is like a Riddick rediscovering himself type thing. The middle part of the movie is the two bounty hunter teams getting real annoyed at each other, and also getting annoyed at the fact that Riddick is killing them off one by one. That's a good part of the movie. That was fun.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to, literally at the end, Riddick trying to escape up a mountain, punching the xenomorph monster things. And I'm like, how much was Vin Diesel wanking himself off making this movie? It must have been constant. They must have had to take fucking breaks from it to go wank himself off again.
Yeah.
You can tell he wrote, produced, directed, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I watched, what was the Chronicles of Riddick? There was obviously Pitch Black.
Pitch Black, Chronicles of Riddick, and then it's just Riddick.
Yeah, Chronicles of Riddick was not that great.
It was okay.
I didn't like
It was fun to give it a bit of a weirder expanded world, and Carl Urban's there being a weird gothic space knight or whatever.
Yeah, and then there was the undead guy that could just teleport places.
Yeah, the
but
necromonger head guy. And then Riddick defeats him by being Riddick, I think.
He basically goes all Space Invaders on him. Instead of stabbing where he is, he follows his little trail and stabs him where he's going to be.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
That's a line straight from Futurama. During the sort of the video game episode, he goes, full of humans. Instead of shooting where I was, you should have shot where I was going to be. That's how he ends that fucking movie. Judi Dench is in there as an elemental.
Oh, yeah.
She's a weird air elemental priestess. It's
she floats.
weird.
She
jumps out of a helicopter.
No, there's like a hole in the ship. And
that's it, yeah, that's what I'm
There's
thinking.
a hole in the ship, and the necromonger leader's going to kick her out the fucking ship. And she's like, you should have known we can float in the air. She's just like, sails across like, bitch, what are you going to do?
Judi Dench.
I am Dame Judi Dench, sir.
She just kind of goes, pops the middle fingers out and just floats away.
I thought it was okay. I remember. I'm
like
going to
it.
watch it again and find it was horrible. But
yeah, probably.
This, there was parts of it that was like, really, you think Vin Diesel pushing his arms up and out is stronger than Dave Bautista pushing his arms in.
Yeah, that's...
No.
Vin Diesel's a big dude, but not Dave fucking Bautista big.
Yeah, and it's like Dave Bautista, when he was like just done with wrestling and was getting into acting.
Yeah, he's still pretty fucking cut at the time.
Big Bautista.
Yeah.
It's absolute aspirational Bautista. Yeah, you're like, no, I'm sorry.
That doesn't make sense.
Vin, yeah, love you, man. but no.
Yeah. You are Groot, man. We are Groot.
I saw that. We saw that and we gave up and started watching Big Mouth.
Yeah, I can see why.
We discovered that Stephen hadn't finished season 2 and we're like, well, I guess we know what we're doing now.
What we're doing now. We're going to watch The Taste of Riddick.
And yeah, at that point, we had a lot to drink, and Stephen got back to us the next day saying, hey, where did we finish Big Mouth? I'm like, episode 4, so you've got about 6 more episodes to go. He says, no, I don't remember the first 2 episodes.
You go back and watch them.
I'm like, well, 1, you were drunk, 2, you were distracted by the rats, so my brother has rats now.
I have rats.
They're weird. Kind of adorable, but weird.
Yeah.
They eat stuff with their hands, which you don't expect. So you hand them like a peanut, and they eat it with their hands. You're like, hey, who taught you that?
Have you ever watched a raccoon eat?
Yeah, but
Same
we
way.
know they're creepy and stinky.
Same way.
Yeah, they just with their tiny little hands.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are weird.
You guys don't make sense with your opposable thumbs. Almost opposable thumbs.
Yeah.
They have little nubs.
They're like 90% of the way there.
Yeah, almost.
Almost.
Yeah. Speaking of shit on Netflix, I started watching Punisher Season 2, and guess what? I'm incredibly disappointed.
Oh no, what a surprise.
What a surprise.
What a surprise.
Hold on, just need to adjust my back pillows here for Christ's sake.
Old man Domini's back pillows.
Punisher Season 2, it kicks off with Frank Castle getting what he wanted at the end of Season 1. He just wanted to be left alone. He wanted to travel. He just wanted to... Can you see?
Get away from it all.
Yeah, get away from it all. He wanted to leave Frank Castle behind and kind of be his new persona, Pete Castiglione, which is his government. Yeah, I get it.
Castiglione.
Castiglione, yeah. But it's basically it's his government name. Like it's
so very inconspicuous.
Yeah, very inconspicuous. No one fucking picks up on it. It's like Superman's goddamn glasses.
Okay,
No one
Mr.
fucking-
Constaglione, just go in the fucking border. Nobody
Anyone
cares.
ever tell you look a bit like that Frank Castle guy that murdered 50 odd people last year in New York? And you took Daredevil hostage as well, didn't you?
No, I'm just good old Pete Castiglione.
Yeah, I'm a construction worker. Yeah,
I build horses.
No one
What?
fucking picks up on it. So it starts with Frank Castle, now known as Pete Castiglione, but it's his witness protection name almost.
Like half of his witness protection name is his old name.
Yeah, it's just his old fucking name because the Department of Homeland Security, they swept away his old deeds because they took care of a problem on their side.
Real quick, do you remember when you talked about Daredevil?
Yeah.
And you're like, Kingpin's supposed to be this mafioso genius.
Yeah.
And it manipulates the FBI. And I was like, maybe the FBI is just stupid. Did we think this is just that again?
Yeah. Like, the Marvel movies don't paint a good picture of law enforcement.
Right.
The Marvel Netflix shows make the local law enforcement out to be dicks. They at one point in episode 2, Frank and this teenager that he found in a bar that is being hunted by Russians, as you fucking do.
Yeah, no.
They've been arrested because they book into a hotel and they're covered with blood, and it takes the receptionist a good while to realise that something might be a bit wrong here. So they get taken in by the police and they've got some questions, and the group that's chasing the girl, I think her name might be Amy. No, her real name's Amy, but at this point she's calling herself Rachel because she's on the run.
Okay.
The group that are after Amy surround the police station, and they send in a couple of operatives. Naturally, Frank Castle kicks the shit out of them, and the police just hand them an M16. He says, the justification for it is, he helped me out, the door was open, he could have ran, but he didn't, he's on the level. I'm like, you've just given the fucking Punisher an M16. You're not an intelligent person. One guy gets shot, and they're like, this guy could help him, he's a Marine, he's got medical training. You leave him chained up, but he's going to die. This guy could save him. Fuck him. It does not paint a very good picture of modern law enforcement, but they serve a purpose in shows. The whole point of Marvel shows is to think the police are too slow. You need to leave it to Iron Fist. You need to leave it to Punisher, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil. That
A
kind
bit of vigilanteism actually
Yeah.
solves problems where the law enforcement might fall short.
Yeah. And in Daredevil season 3, it falls way short
Yeah.
because Kingpin just buys the FBI. Not even joking, he just straight up fucking pays off the entire FBI. But so Punisher season 2 starts off. Frank Castle, he's just hitting a bar. He gets chatting to the barmaid. They can have a thing, but then he goes back to the bar one night. He's about to leave town, but he decides, you know what, that barmaid, I slept with her. She was kind of cute. I'm going to go back. And then he gets involved in this whole shit with the girl who's running out. Then the group that are after, I still haven't finished it. I don't think I'm going to finish it because it doesn't get. Episode 1 was good, then it just kind of slows right down.
Yeah.
It's almost like they looked at season 1 and thought, you know what, this was really good, really non-stop action. Frank Castle got the shit kicked out of him, but he killed so many people in return. They just kind of thought, you know what, in season 2, let's focus on his backstory.
Let's have him work through the trauma.
Yeah, let's have him, because the one of the bad guys in season 1, a guy named Billy Russo, is back in season 2, but because of how badly Frank Castle beat him in season 1, he can't remember who he is. His face, they say his face is all fucked up because the villain that he turns into is a villain called Jigsaw, whose face is so mangled and so distorted that it looks like misshapen Jigsaw.
Yeah.
For the TV show, they've just kind of given him some scars, and he's just like, oh, he's mangled his face.
He's horrifically, he's massively wounded.
Yeah.
You're like,
He
dude,
still looks like a fucking underwear model with some scars on his
still
face.
pretty fuckable. I'm sorry.
There's going to be women all over the country just thrumming the guitar string.
Ooh, he's a bad boy now. Ooh.
Yeah. But he's back, and his whole thing is he's trying to work through it, and he doesn't remember anything. So everyone's kind of on edge and thinking, Frank Castle. He might remember Frank Castle. He might remember Kurt, the guy who was working with him, or that worked with him, or got him the job as the sort of private military contractor in the first season.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's kind of honest, thinking he might come after those, and that's kind of good. But there's so many fucking loose ends, even in the first couple of episodes, that you just think, right, they need to tone this down, because there's Frank and the girl, and they're being chased by not the Russian group. They're being chased by a Russian group and also this weird Christian group. Then there's Billy Russo, who's having to deal with his sort of
amnesia,
his rehab. Then he's trying to deal with. He wants to get back out into the world, but he doesn't know who he is. He keeps getting flashes and remembering things, and he doesn't know how to deal with them. The only thing he can really remember is he's tormented by the White Skull
of Punisher.
The Punisher. He remembers the force of him getting his head smashed against the glass, but he doesn't remember anything from season 1.
Yeah,
and then there's another character for season 1, Dina Madani, Special Agent Dina Madani, or Dinah Madani. She's obsessed with Billy Russo. She thinks that it's all just an act. He's got them all fooled. She's still convinced that he remembers what he did.
Yeah.
And she's fucking vehemently chasing that. And they don't really converge. They kind of bump off each other.
Right.
Because Dinah, she brings in Frank to try and deal with Billy Russo, but as far as Frank's concerned, that's not his problem. He's got to go deal with Amy. He tries to go deal with the Russians, but then the Christian group get involved again, and the Russians get forgotten about. It's just a fucking mess.
It's like, who wrote this? Like,
do you know who wrote it?
Yeah.
A woman. I'm only joking. I just want to see if that got around you. Has no bearing on the story, but
I said that's not like a normal way to answer that question.
No, it's the one thing that I will say about it. It's two different people writing one character. The people the person who wrote the first season got the Punisher. He got that the Punisher was a fucking gritty, dark, bloody tale.
Very angry
man.
Property,
PTSD, like all these fucking mental issues. He got that. The second season, I can see what she's trying to do, because having that constantly is not sustainable. Yeah. You can't have the constant angry bullets, all that crap.
Yeah. If you have a character like that character needs to die.
Yeah.
Like that just has...
Yeah.
You can't have
2 seasons out of that if you do that way.
Yeah.
But I get what the writer of this season's trying to do. But at the same time, pick up the pace a bit. Pick up the pace. Show us a few action scenes, because everything has been... Like, some of the shootouts in season 1 were really high stakes. Everything in season 2, from the shootouts that I've seen, are all fairly kind of milquetoast.
Yeah.
The fight in episode 1 at the bar, Frank deals with them pretty easily.
Yeah.
Not much happens. And the police station, the only thing that happens to Frank is that he breaks his hand. Doesn't fucking stop him all that much. Then he goes to a Russian gym, and he fucking melts someone in the face with a 5 kilo disc.
Nice.
Like, his face looks like a fucking gorilla mauled him. Pretty cool. But again, nothing seems high stakes. It's Frank Castle doing Frank Castle shit.
He's going to win this one, you know.
Yeah, again, that's where I'm kind of getting disheartened with the whole superhero thing. It's just, we get that he's going to win. You need to up the stakes.
Yeah. And even if it's not upping the stakes of the character dying, that girl Rachel, or Amy, whatever her name happens to be,
she's the most annoying fucking character.
Put her at risk.
Yeah.
Make Frank go, oh shit, I need to save another human being, because Frank will get out of it regardless of whatever happens.
Yeah, but the kid might not.
Can he get Rachel/Amy out of there?
Yeah. And that she's meant to be in there almost like kind of conscience for Frank.
Yeah.
I can see what they're doing there. And sometimes it's effective, because in episode 2, Frank's kind of saying, right, there's people after you, and because of you, they're now after me. So we need to team up. You stick with me, I'll keep you safe. But in between that, Frank keeps handcuffing her to a bed and taping her mouth closed. It's like, there's easier ways to do it. I'm pretty sure if you can reason with her, but again, it helps the character, because you're just like, I don't do things normally. I'm just gonna tie her up to a bed and you gaffer tape the mouth. She'll shut up that way.
I'm not about your feelings. I'm about efficiency here.
Yeah, I've got a job to do, and I'm going to do it with as few bullets as possible, or depending on how many of them, as many as bullets as possible.
Yeah.
It's going to be, if I do continue to watch it, it's going to be
a slog.
Yeah, it's going to be a just trog through, like just trogging through mud. But it's the way Marvel Netflix shows are kind of going, because Luke Cage season 2 ended poorly. Iron Fist season 2 I didn't even finish, but from what I heard, he gets revolvers that he can channel the Iron Fist power into. Like, why spend all this time showing that he is a kung fu and martial arts master if he just gets a couple of 9mm?
Yeah,
that's fucking pointless. And Luke Cage deciding to destroy crime. I am become crime. I will rule all crime in Harlem. That's not how you do it. And then I didn't even finish Jessica Jones season 2 because I got so fucking pissed off at it. Everyone becomes a whiny bitch except Jessica. Like, Trish Walker's like, give me powers. I could help you. I could be your sidekick. I could be Jessica Jones too.
So you don't want this power.
You don't want this power. I could punch your head off just by, passively waving my hand. You don't want my power. But I think Punisher Season 2 it has potential to end it really well, but from the first couple of episodes, I wouldn't blame anyone that just switches it off immediately.
Yeah.
But on the opposite side of that, something I've been watching on Amazon Prime called Preacher.
All right, yeah, I've seen this. I've seen like trailers for it, and I'm like, okay, it's going really hard in the sci-fi aspect, and the weird kind of dystopian angle of like the church is on a TV that everyone can see for 100 miles. That's weird.
Yeah, it's the whole crux of the show is that the main character Jesse Custer, he's he was a criminal, and a kind of in his life before the church. But certain things happens. He parts ways with his old crew, and then he remembers a promise that he made to his dad, which was always try and be one of the good guys because there's too many bad guys, that kind of thing. So he goes back to his old hometown, and he picks up where his dad left off as the preacher, and he's kind of notorious. People know him as the criminal. They know that this guy broke someone's arm just to hear him make a funny noise. This guy's a bad dude. This guy's a preacher. We don't trust him, and he always kind of struggles with. How do I make people believe
lead
that
a
I'm
community
when
I've just spent the last 20 years being the bully in the community?
Yeah. And then he gets an ability called Genesis, which is the culmination of demonic power and angel power.
Right.
So it's basically a kind of hybrid of them, and it's basically on par with God. On the comic books, you find out that God made it because God's an egotist. He wanted to make something as powerful as him, but he wanted to instill it in this new being that he made it, so you need to love me. They really kind of paint a very egotistical, very narcissistic view of God and Preacher.
Right.
It kind of works. I kind of dig it, but I can see a lot of people getting upset about it.
It's a weird way of looking at, like, we need to have the creation myth, but also have the creator not quite be the bad guy, but just be kind of a dick.
Yeah, just not a nice person.
Yeah.
There's got to be something there. So Genesis realised that he was as powerful as God and just went, no, I'm just as strong as you. I don't need to worship you. And then somehow that kind of creates this power vacuum. Then they basically seal away Genesis. But Genesis finds its way out, and it kind of moves through different hosts, finds a very suitable host in Jesse, and when it bonds with Jesse, it gives him the power of command, which was no matter what, if he says things in a certain way, or if he says any command to him and uses Genesis, they have to obey it.
Okay.
So in, I think, episode 6 or 7 of the first season, he says to some guy, he's using his power to try and help his congregation. Some guy comes up to him and he's always saying, "Oh, my mother doesn't approve of me. My mother's always thinking I'm a failure." And using the Genesis, the voice of command, he says to him, "Just be patient. Tell your mother how you feel and open your heart." So he goes there and he tells his mother,
I know where this is
he
going.
Stabs himself in the chest and he goes, "I need to open my heart to you," and he rips his heart out. So it's got a good side and a bad side, but ultimately it depends on. They'll do it, but it depends on how they interpret that.
You need to work on the phrasing. It's a monkey's paw.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
He's a literal walking, talking monkey's paw.
Yeah, pretty much. And then there's another character that he's talking to, and he says he's using the voice command to try and convince him to follow God. Mm-hmm. And he says it to him a couple of times. He goes, "Follow God." And I don't know what it is. It's the character can't hear him or something, or he's not convinced by it. So he says it to him 3 times. "Follow God," and that kind of echoes throughout the church. Because whenever he uses the voice of command in the show, there's like a sort of double effect on it, just to show that he's using the power. Because obviously you can tell in the comic books because all the text boxes are coloured a different colour.
Right.
But in the show they need to show it. So he has this double voice, almost like he's confused. That kind of double voice effect.
Okay.
And he finally says, "Follow God," and he had the big booming voice, and he goes, "Okay, I will follow God." But he, as a devout atheist, he doesn't believe in God. He's always on at Jesse and his father before him to denounce God because his whole family were killed in an accident.
Right.
And what was his name? The character's name is Odin Kincannon. Right. And he runs a sort of meat production factory in the town of Anvil, which this whole place, the first season is set in. He kind of denounces God because his whole family gets killed. And then he realises that when his family gets shipped back to him, there's no difference between regular meat and his family.
Right.
And that somehow leads him down the road to think there is no God, God doesn't exist. So instead of praising the one true God, as it were, he praises the God of meat. And
I was thinking that this was going to go into like a weird commentary on capitalism, and he would just basically become, because you talk about dead body. It was like, right, so I'm guessing the guy is going to be like an extreme capitalist because he doesn't have God, so he's going to start making as much money as possible. And he mentioned dead bodies. I'm like, he's going to start cannibalism. Here we go. But the god of meat.
The god of meat, yeah. It's a weird comic book, but it's a lot of fun. So he's all about the god of meat. So these people are coming. They come into his company is called Kincannon Meat and Power, QM&P. This company is coming in to try and revolutionise his company, and they're trying to make him use green practices, try and change his output. And he basically just murders them all in the name of the god of meat. Like, brings a AA-12 shotgun and just blows them all away. Then there's the mayor of the town is sitting next to him, and he just turns to him and says, "All in the name of progress, mayor, all in the name of progress." And he shows him out. I just thought, fuck, this TV show is going someplace where I didn't expect it to go.
Yeah. Although I will say he's clearly not the smartest atheist if he's trying to convince a preacher to denounce God.
Oh yeah, he goes in on that when he's talking to Jesse's father. It's got, they kind of bounce between a show, the backstory of Jesse and Jesse where he is now. He's talking to preacher's father, and he's saying, "You need to denounce God. Tell these people that God doesn't exist. I will not have you lie to these people." And he's just sitting there with like what he thinks is his daughter's intestines in one hand and cow intestines in the other, just going, "There's no difference. You need to denounce God." And
okay.
Yeah, they're not afraid to kind of.
I have Amazon Prime. Is this Amazon Prime?
Yes, Amazon Prime.
Okay, good, because there's a lot of stuff that's on Amazon Prime, but if you buy it for
it's all on Amazon Prime.
Okay, good.
It's actually directed by Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. Turns out are huge Preacher fans.
Huh.
It's a comic book as well, published by Vertigo Comics, which are an offshoot from DC Comics.
Yeah.
Or they now are anyway. I think they might be a separate independent company, but DC have since folded them in. Because certain characters from Vertigo along the lines of Constantine, they're now on DC.
Yeah,
properly.
that was something I didn't know until very recently, that Constantine was technically like a DC property. I was like,
yeah, he was Vertigo Comics, but then they just decided Constantine's in more DC properties than he is in Vertigo. Yeah. So then Vertigo just kind of latched onto DC and Warner Brothers and just we'll make it. You can use our properties now. Yeah, but every so often in a Vertigo comic, Batman will pop up or something like that.
Which probably has to like tip the power scales just a little bit.
Yeah,
we're gonna fight this thing. We need to get into information, and just Batman shows up. Did someone say information?
Information? Oh, you're looking for information? I already got it. I've had 2 panels worth of information to talk about. I got the shit there.
We need some information. Just come like a batarang flies to the window with a note attached. Here's all the information you need. Bye. I'm gone now.
Just Batman is at the window. Just the thumbs up for Batman Forever and just fucks off.
I happened to Google it because remember we're talking about like the YouTube series where people like explain comics or like talk you through the story of a comic.
There's a few of them.
Yeah, there was one that actually featured, I think, in order to save. I think it was the one where Superman goes rogue. At one point, they're like, "Oh, we should use magic," and then the whole like Constantine shows up.
Injustice.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, that makes sense, I guess.
Constantine's a fucking badass, particularly the way they've written him in some of the DC comic books. They've written him in such a way where he just thinks, right, I need to save my reality and my tether to magic, so I'm going to do things my way. And if that involves bringing in a fire demon from the 4th circle of hell, I'm going to do it.
They get like Satan's right-hand man, and they're like, this guy will save us against Superman. And then some like weird dwarf guy shows up and is like, not if I fight him first.
Yeah, I think their allegory for Satan in DC Comics might actually, if it's not Satan himself, it's a character called Trigon. Oh, and that also reminds me of something else.
They brought up Trigon. It was Trigon that they used to try and fight Superman in the Injustice series. Yeah. And then it's there's that weird guy who shows up just to fuck with Superman. That's his entire goal, is that he shows up, fucks with Superman, and leaves. He just does it every 7 years or something like that.
That is Mr. Mixes Pitlick.
Yep. He shows up just at the same time.
All he does. Every 9 years, he just shows up to fuck with Superman. And every time, the way to get rid of Mr. Mixes Pitlick is you get him to say his own name backwards.
Yeah.
So they'll write down a piece of paper. Superman, I'm pretty sure this was how he beat him in one comic. He writes his name backwards on a piece of paper and says, read that out for me. And he goes, kill Tipsy's him. Fuck.
Damn it.
Every time you get me with that. He was in a couple episodes of Justice League, the animated cartoon, voiced by Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh my god, I need to see that.
Fucking amazing. I've genuinely, because I've never sought out an episode of anything before, or like that before. I thought Gilbert Gottfried as Mr. Mix has put like the imp from the fifth dimension that can just play with human beings. I want to fucking watch that. And it was great. It does not disappoint.
I'd be totally down for that one.
Yeah. Speaking of Trigon, I finished watching Titans on Netflix.
Oh yeah, how is it?
Surprisingly good. I was very, very impressed.
Yeah?
Yeah. The one thing that I was hesitant about going into it was the fact that it was written by a guy called Akiva Goldsman, who wrote Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. You can see why I was trepidatious. But I don't know what it is. He got the characters. Dick Grayson, as you would expect, is naturally kind of tortured, a bit unsure of himself at this time, a bit volatile. He fucking destroys a couple of dudes with a steel lever, like gas. What's the best way to describe it? It's like, something. It's a pressure valve. He just rips that off.
Okay.
And just starts beating motherfuckers with it. Robin is not fucking around. There's another couple of times he doesn't actually kill anybody. The trailers makes it look like he kills a couple of people with guns, but you see him, he's aiming in between them. He's using it as a kind of scare tactic to make them back off. But he has on his chest the Robin logo. If he pushes that, little Robin R-shaped shurikens come out. He uses them fucking effectively. He gets a guy in the eye.
Shit.
He gets a few people in the eye. Just the way they've done it, the way they've had the sidekicks almost kind of be the main focus, like they did in the old Teen Titans comics and TV shows.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got Dick Grayson, who's kind of in that transitionary period between Robin and Nightwing.
So he's trying to be basically super edgy Robin.
Yeah, he's succeeding because he's very, very edgy in that.
Fuck Batman.
Fuck Batman. Yeah. I've watched the first episode. They don't even put it in cleanly. One sort of criminal asks him, "Hey, where's Batman? You just alone yourself tonight, bird boy?" He goes in and beats them all up, and he just kind of looks about. Fuck Batman. And walks away. Surely, fuck Batman would have worked if you hit the guy in the head. Yeah. It said, "Where's Batman?" If you just kind of jumped off the car and went, "Fuck Batman," then started fighting. Yeah. That would be a better place to put that line in. But when you've beaten all the guys and you're just kind of looking at the camera with blood all over your face, and then you go, "Fuck Batman." It seems a bit shoehorned.
Badass 101, kid. Somebody needs to be conscious to hear your badass one-liner.
Yeah. But the supporting cast was really good. The whole story is there's a character called Rachel, who is Raven, or she's this series interpretation of Raven, and she's basically been she's been tracked by a group who are out to kill her because she can be used to bring forth Trigon to Earth.
Okay.
And so they're saying, for the good of humanity, you're going to die. But then she goes to Dick Grayson because she hears about Dick Grayson in her dream or something. She has some weird psychic powers. She gets these sort of intuitions.
Yeah.
And saying, right, if I want to be safe, I need to find Dick Grayson. So she goes to Detroit.
Is she not like the daughter of like a really powerful witch or something?
She's the daughter of Trigon.
Right. Okay.
She's Trigon's daughter, so Trigon can use her as a gateway.
Okay.
But he needs to kind of flood her with dark negative energy first.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's your basic Kingdom Hearts. Like, you must be anointed with darkness and all the evil bloods and stuff before we can use you as a gateway. So she goes to Dick Grayson. Of course, Dick Grayson's a skeptic at this point. He's like, "No, I don't fucking believe you. Get away from me, you weird child. I'm not dealing with you weird masks or anything anymore." Then the powers manifest themselves, and Dick Grayson kind of goes, "Right, I can't leave this alone. I need to take you to wherever." So that kind of happens. She sticks with Dick Grayson for a while. Then she realised that Dick Grayson was going to leave her with a couple of other superheroes called Hawk and Dove with just a pile of money. Like, thanks. Look after the kid. I'm going to go back to work, because I realised at this point I haven't been at work for about 4 days. His plan was to leave them with the characters are called Hawk and Dove, and I think their names actually might be Hank. No, their names are actually Hank and Dawn. But
wow,
Hawk is played by Alan Ritchson. I think he was in a couple of Rooster Teeth things.
He is the guy from Laser Team.
Yeah,
he is the army. He was in Laser Team 1. He was going to be the champion of humanity who would take on the power suit.
Yeah.
And then 4 idiots find it. So
yeah, he plays Hawk very well.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he's him and Dawn, who plays Dawn, who's also Dove. They have this kind of this cool dynamic about them. It's just like, one more job, that's it, you're done. Because Hank, he played he got a scholarship to play football in university, but he kind of played it a bit too well. He had a shit ton of concussions. His hip was bad. He had multiple injuries. Yeah. So he was always getting told to hang it up, and he was always looking for one big sort of final score, and that's when the whole superhero thing came in.
Well, actually, he is also in something I want to talk about later on. So he's doing an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine I haven't seen yet.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, he's actually really good. Like he's got good chemistry with somebody.
Yeah,
Like
he's a good actor, and he's good at playing Hank, who's this kind of a bit of an alpha male. Is always when he sees Dick Grayson, he's like, "Oh, this fucker again."
yeah,
Remember when you screwed my girlfriend because you were bored or something like that? Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson's like, "Fuck Batman,
Fuck Batman. Fuck your wife.
fuck Batman and your wife, then fuck Batman again." I'm cool now.
Everyone likes Dick Grayson. That's another thing about this whole TV show. Every female is trying to fuck Dick Grayson.
He's got the D.
Yeah,
His name is Dick.
yeah, his name is Dick. Everyone wants to, because he's checking in a hotel. He's got Rachel there, and he's got Starfire,
Mm-hmm.
who's her real name is on her own planet. Her name is Coriander.
Okay.
So her whole plot line in the show is that she's lost her memory, and she's trying to pick up the pieces, and all she can find name wise is her name is Corey Anders.
Right.
They didn't really bust the bank on that one, but it kind of works because she gets in the comic book. She was always called Corey anyway, so
Right.
it's a good way to introduce that. So they're trying to go into book into a hotel or book into a motel or something, and the receptionist is just trying her damnedest to get the D.
Yeah.
Everybody, Dick Grayson gets a new partner at the start of the series. She is trying to get the D.
To be fair, is he not a super intelligent gymnast?
Yeah, that was always the thing in the comic books. The reason why psychics didn't like working with Dick Grayson and other people is because the one thing that they would always hear is people just saying, "How cute is Dick Grayson? I want to do Dick Grayson." People just love the guy, apparently.
I mean, if you run around all day wearing nothing but spandex,
Yeah,
you're gonna be in tip-top shape. Like
Yeah,
you can't have a beer gut with a spandex suit.
you need to be working out.
Yeah, you got to be at least somewhat fuckable.
But yeah, I'd recommend it. There's a couple of. Ultimately, I'd say it's a good solid 8.5.
I did see it. I did see the logo come up. I was like, oh yeah, I probably should at least watch one episode of that. How do I need to be knowledgeable in any way?
I think if you go in just at least knowing who the characters are, the sort of the main 5 characters, because you've got Dick Grayson in the kind of Robin Nightwing transition period. You've got Raven, or Rachel as she's called in the show, in the kind of getting to know her powers type thing.
Yeah.
And you've got Starfire, Coriander, in this kind of, she knows what her powers are, but she can't use them. It's her kind of getting to grips with humanity, because she's obviously an alien.
Yeah.
She's getting to grips with her powers, she's getting to grips with her humanity. Then you've got Beast Boy, who's just getting to grips with his powers and the outside world, because he basically lives in this kind of institute.
I was just about to say that this sounds a bit like it's like an X-Men area type thing, like
kind of
that kind of puberty stuff going on.
Yeah, basically, where Beast Boy comes from, he comes from an institute that I cannot remember the name of, but they have this doctor who basically takes terminal patients and gives them help that they would never get in normal regular hospitals. But his methods often result in some kind of metagene or metahuman gene manifestation.
Okay.
Like with Beast Boy, it alters his DNA, and they kind of explain it quite well. It basically gives him the ability to basically restructure his DNA into any shape, and because of his sort of physical mental state, that often manifests. Fuck, I cannot talk. It manifests as an animal, and because of his personality, it's often a tiger, or it's mainly a tiger that you see in the show. And then there's other people in there. There's a character called, I think her name might be June something, but she's a failed actress. Well, she's not. She was a successful actress that basically contracted some kind of disease. She got the serum from the doctor, and it basically gave her the ability to morph her body. Because again, it reacted to personality. She was an actress. She was considered a bit of a chameleon back in the day, so it kind of allows her to, morph and change. The only person that doesn't really have cool powers was a character called Mr. Robot, who's literally just a NASCAR driver that had an accident, and all that was left was his brain. So the doctor just went, healthy brain, I'm going to stick that in a giant robot,
and we'll figure out the rest later. Goodbye.
Just, be gone. I'm done with you, Mr. Robot.
Oh, well, that's that.
Voiced
done.
by Brendan Fraser.
Okay.
No, it's Mr. Fraser, and it's Mr. Fraser. Brendan Fraser is in the Mr. Robot suit.
Okay.
Actually plays it quite well, because he's meant to be the older character that kind of keeps everyone else in check. And who better to play a jaded, tired
old man
character
than Brendan Fraser. Yeah.
But no, the way the characters interact is all pretty good. when you find out more about Dick Grayson's character, it's really, really good. When you talk to when you hear or when you see Dick Grayson talking to the likes of Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, particularly other characters like Donna Troy, who's a Wonder Woman sidekick, Wonder Girl.
All right.
When you see that she kind of realizes that I'm going to leave the suit behind because I can do more good as Donna Troy as opposed to Wonder Girl, and that's why Dick Grayson goes to talk to her and say, right, I can't do the whole Robin thing anymore. It's physically killing me.
Right.
So how would I do this another way? And then she basically tries to introduce him in real life. And I'll come with me. I've got a few events to post some or to kind of show my pictures and what have you. Come with me to that. You can mingle with people. You can talk there. Then that kind of helps Dick Grayson along a bit there. And just seeing these characters interact with each other is pretty good. What I don't find good about it is at some points it's kind of rushed. You can tell they I think they were going to go with 12 episodes, but they cut to 11. 11 and 12 are originally going to be one episode, but they cut episode 11 because it ends on a cliffhanger, and they're just going to have that be an hour-long start to the next season, which I think is pretty cool. But one thing I'm annoyed about is the fact that Dick Grayson isn't Nightwing yet. He's still in this kind of angsty, edgy period.
Like, it feels like it'd be better if it ended with him just going, I'm not going to be Robin anymore.
He
become
burns
Nightwing.
the suit in episode 6.
I know, but I mean, like, it would be good if he decided, I'm not Robin, now I'm Nightwing.
Yeah.
Like, that should be his final moment of the season.
I'm not Robin anymore. Who could I be? Because then that could lead effortlessly into him having a conversation with Superman, because he does, at this point, they have followed it quite well. At this point, Dick Grayson and Batman aren't talking. Right. So he says, who's the next best thing? Who do I want to be more like? I want to be like Superman. That guy's pretty strongest being in the universe, and he seems pretty cheery, pretty happy all the time. I'll go and talk to him. And he starts telling him about the Kryptonian legends of Nightwing and Firebird, who are basically superhero vigilantes on Krypton. And
which has got to be pretty impressive.
Yeah. And then that's where Dick Grayson gets the idea for Nightwing, and he goes, I like that. And then the whole Nightwing thing comes to there. Yeah. So if in season 2 Dick Grayson talks to Superman, that'd be pretty fucking cool. Because it'd be CW actors that would probably show up in that, and the guy that they've got playing Superman and Supergirl, I'd say he does it better than Henry Cavill. Not gonna lie. Yeah. It's the fact that he's got the spit curl. For me, you cannot have Superman without that hair curl.
Yeah, it's good that it's like he's a unstoppable, like, immortal machine. Kind of looks like a fucking dork. Like, he's not quite 100%, like 99%. Just that little bit of a weird dorky haircut. Yeah,
something needs to, because you need to have something that humanizes Superman. For me, it's the hair curl. Don't know why, but it's what humanizes me. But just sort of last point on Titans. Like I said, it gets kind of rushed. In the last couple of episodes, Starfire, Donna Troy, and Dick Grayson are approaching the house where Rachel is being held by her mother, who's trying to use her as a gateway to summon Trigon, her father. And as they're driving down the road, Coriander says to Dick Grayson, we need to hurry up or Trigon will be brought onto this earth. By the time they get to the house, she's just, Trigon's here. Like, there was zero build up to that. It was just, Trigon might be summoned. Trigon's here. Like, you couldn't, that was the best take of that you could do.
Like, that should be like, we leave this, we gotta go, or Trigon might be summoned, and then like some panic in the car, and then oh god, Trigon's here.
Yeah, and even when Trigon gets summoned, because they summon him through this weird kind of magic mirror thing.
Yeah.
Literally, there's no ground shake, there's no energy coming off the mirror. He just gets pulled through the mirror. He has a bit of a stumble step. It's just, oh, Trigon's here. Again, that was the first and only take you were going to do that. I'd have done that again, maybe show, because it's fucking Trigon. You're going to have to show some energy crackling off. Show the fact that the earth is cracking, or the earth is trying to summon him back down to hell. Show them that the earth does not want him on this plane. Yeah. Show the earth fighting back.
Show that he's an immortal demon lord. Yeah. You know, someone who might have a sphere of influence or some weird kind of unholy aura.
Yeah. Something that show a bit of decay around the house, like the house is crumbling under the power of Trigon. Yeah. One thing I did notice is on the back of Rachel's backpack, she has a Lords of Order patch, which is I don't know if you heard of him, a character called Dr. Fate.
No.
He's basically part of the Lords of Order that are tasked with keeping order throughout the multiverse. I'm hoping, and I'm probably not going to be right about this because it seems it'll just be a little throwaway reference, but I'm hoping that patch on her back is somehow some little spy camera for the Lords of Order. We might get Dr. Fate versus Trigon in the next season, which would be fucking cool. Because Trigon's this kind of ultimate evil. Dr. Fate is this kind of like stupidly powerful light being.
Okay.
So I think it'd be pretty cool. But again, it'd probably just a little throwaway reference.
Well, to be fair, if you just summon the immortal demon god, what do you got in your arsenal that will take him on?
Yeah.
If you're just playing with the Titans and maybe a couple extra characters, you don't really have...
Yeah, Dick Grayson's not going to win a fist fight with, with Trigon.
Maybe if he's got the nunchucks. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe if he's got the Eskrima sticks. He could, if he's got a couple of stun batons, he could work. But yeah, I don't think in a straight one-on-one fight Dick Grayson's beaten Trigon.
It'd be an interesting start to the season, though. Who knew the devil could be tased?
Turns out, guys, batarang to the head.
Satan, not a big deal.
Trigon, I beat him.
He's fine.
I could take on Batman.
Yeah, I watched. I don't think we talked about this last time, but there's been a Godzilla series.
Please, no, don't talk to me about Godzilla 3.
No,
Godzilla 3 was so.
Studio
bad.
Polygon. I love Studio Polygon.
The animation. I'm not faulting the animation.
Yeah.
It's the story and the writing that I'm pissing all over right now.
I might actually kind of fault the fact there was not a lot of animation and that the main fight starts about 40 minutes from the end, and I don't think they move.
No,
at all.
Godzilla barely moves. I think most of the animation for Godzilla goes into him opening his eyes.
Yeah, I'd say that it's just annoying to have that. Like, it's been a really good series. One was okay. 2 was such an improvement.
Yeah, 1 and 2 were great. 3 is such a downgrade.
I was so hyped for 3. I was like, this is unreal. I can't believe we're gonna get to see this. And there's gonna be another kaiju, and we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight the whole thing out. And then it just turns into 2 monsters kind of locked in place.
Yeah, it looks like they're hugging each other at some point.
While a bunch of people look at screens and go, "Oh my god, Godzilla's breaking this law of physics," and then they go, "Oh my god, now Ghidorah's breaking this law of physics," and then they both look at each other and go, "How are they breaking laws of physics?" And then somebody vaguely throws out an idea, and then 10 seconds later, "Oh my god, Ghidorah's just broken another law of physics." How could this happen? You just said it's breaking laws of physics. The rules don't have to apply anymore.
The rules are clearly not applicable.
And they just throw around like vaguely physics terms.
Yeah. It was the ending that majorly bugged me. And I don't know if you want to spoil it. I'm cool for not spoiling it.
I'd mentally checked out.
The ending was just... It was such a down note. You're like, okay, you've had this really boring fight. You could lift it with a good ending.
Yeah.
But no, they just there was no lift at the end. It was just, and there we go. Are you sure that's how you want to end that?
Goodbye to everything. We're done now. Bye, and just leave.
Yeah. It was so fucking bad.
And it's a weird thing of there's been a whole running metaphor throughout, or running series of direct commentary almost on the fact that Godzilla represents nature, the force of nature resetting the cycle of life.
Yeah.
Godzilla might be a lizard in this one, but a couple thousand years ago he was a giant asteroid, and then like he's just this titanic event that resets life.
Literally this force of nature.
And it's just humanity comes to terms with that. We're done.
Yeah.
That's it. Wrap. We're done.
It's what the main character does that I seem a bit redundant. You've accepted it. What does your action then do?
What do you mean?
We'll just spoil it. The main character accepting that there's nothing we can do. We can basically just remove all our technology and let Godzilla rule.
Yeah.
Him running towards Godzilla does nothing.
Yeah, the kamikaze run at 100 and Mach 10 into Godzilla's mouth as he fires a laser beam.
Yeah,
and you're like,
absolutely fuck all.
That was it.
Well done, mate.
That was the hero. And then the rest of the cast just kind of disseminate themselves into the local like native cultures that live at peace with nature. You're like,
like the cult of Mothra or something.
Yeah,
randomly kicks about.
I guess that was a bit heavy-handed.
Yeah, and I don't know. It was for how good the first 2 were. Season 3 was just dull.
Yeah,
ending on a real dull note.
And the thing that bugs me is that there's other projects that studio does, mostly Knights of Sidonia. Great series.
I've watched a couple episodes. I'm very, 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 very pleased with what I've watched. I've not watched a full season yet. There
should be a season 3 of that, but it's not happened because they've done Knights of Sidonia, then the Asian series, which I want to watch, and then they've started doing these, and then they did the Blame movie as well. And they keep getting better. And I'd love, like, if they went back now, I can't imagine how great Knights of Sidonia would be.
Yeah. But I've not heard good things about Ajin, but I've heard good things about most everything else that they've done.
I liked the concept of it, and it's been on my to watch list probably the longest of anything I've had on Netflix. So it's been pushed back and back and back. But now that after seeing this, I'm like, man, I really hope you guys manage to wrap up a story.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
Because there's too many franchises nowadays that don't really wrap up their stories all that well. They're just going to say this is how we're going to end it and leave it.
And anime has a huge problem with that because a lot of stuff doesn't get a season 2. Yeah. It's a running meme now of like the list of all the great shows that don't get a season 2 or season 3, and it's a terrifyingly long list. Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit of a damp squib for like such a great series so far. Yeah, definitely. The ending could have been improved, but if you take it for what it was, I'd say they're all pretty good. It's a decent ride. Yeah, decent show. The one thing that I did hear quite a lot of people complaining about was just the fact that a creature at the size of Godzilla would die instantly. Like, there would not be enough on that planet to sustain something that big. Oh, like it wouldn't live as long as it did. I can't remember the name of the rule, but there was something that the bigger a creature gets... Oh, it needs to consume almost infinitely more mass. Like, it's exponentially more mass to survive. More mass, and it needs to absorb it and like basically consume more. And that's not sustainable. Or even something that size would not be able to fill get the correct amount of oxygen into its body. So it basically just die of, suffocation. Yeah. The physics of Godzilla are kind of iffy, but then it's a giant lizard monster that punches buildings, so... Pretty much, and has atomic fire breath. Yeah. So, let's not read too far into that one. And then has a mecha version of itself that has... Mechagodzilla's fucking cool. Shut up. I was so disappointed when they didn't actually bring it Mechagodzilla in the second one. They fucking talk about him in 2 so goddamn much. And they're like, oh, here it comes. And you're like, oh, it wasn't ready yet. Yeah. Don't they talk about Mechagodzilla City in 2 as well? Yeah, that's what they were building. That Mechagodzilla City was going to build the Mechagodzilla to fight Godzilla. And then it wasn't finished. But there's enough weapon systems to just take it down anyway. Or they can just overload the reactor and then fuck it. Yeah. That's what seems to be the way to kill Godzilla. Just overdose on radiation. Wait, what we'll do with this giant metaphor for radiation? Give it more radiation. I want them to do the thing in the movie where they realise that, all right, Godzilla's back. We need to overdose it with radiation. Just nope. You've just made Godzilla go Super Saiyan. Thank you very fucking much. He now has an aura and he has spiky hair for some reason. Now, well fucking done. Yeah, I the one thing I've enjoyed in the series, and it was kind of really ham-fisted at the end, was that. And they actually directly mention it, is the fact that there's 3 races. One's obsessed with technology. One is a weird kind of ethereal elven race. Like, it's almost like humans, elves, and dwarves. Yeah, they're like kind of weird cleric type things, aren't they? Yeah, and they become the leaders of a new religion towards the end of it, and that's what helps summon Ghidorah. And like their influence helps change the whole thing. Then one character gets a weird Ghidorah eye, like the weird black and yellow eye. I just thought that was like, you guys just stole that from Naruto. Yeah, that's just the Sharingan. Yeah, and it's almost like humans, elf, dwarves, and the human idea is just let's go down and fight it. Yeah, let's be heroes. The dwarf idea is let's just use technology, and then the elf idea is vague, mystical, religious bullshit. Yeah. And then they just say just because the elves get to go at it last because the human attempt failed because humanity didn't have the weapons to fight Godzilla. Yeah, the dwarf attempt failed because they were corruptible, and then the elves get the last laugh. So it makes religion seem like the answer. I'm like, it's kind of, it's not the conclusion I would have went for, but when you consider that the whole thing is to bring yourself back into balance with nature, maybe that's why it's okay, I guess. Yeah, I suppose so. It's hard to be brave about being one with the trees. Yeah. I don't know. You've got to really kind of like work that answer in there. Yeah. I feel like the religious answer is the easiest answer if you're going to go for that metaphor. It's weird to think that we're now shoving religious subtext into a Godzilla movie. Yeah. I get that obviously it's called Godzilla, but that's just because it's King of Monsters. Yeah, King of the Monsters. Yeah, it kind of works. Yeah, it makes sense. But give it a go if you've got a spare 4 hours. 4? I think they're about an hour and change, hour and 15. No, about 90 minutes, yeah. If you got a spare 4.5 hours, yeah, just watch. Why not? Yeah, just go for it. But don't blame us when you come back disappointed. Don't blame us if you come back scratching your head just going, what? Why did it not work? I don't know, because we didn't believe. Yeah. Do you have anything else? I have a couple other things. Yeah, go for it. I don't know. There's no way to put this transition cleanly, so I'm going to talk about the Resident Evil 2 demo because I want to talk about the Resident Evil 2 demo. Oh yeah, I saw that was going live. I will start off by saying the one thing that it did and still does annoy me is the fact that it's a one-shot demo. You play it for 30 minutes and it's
done.
Wow.
You can't replay it. You can re-download it, but you can't replay it on that one copy. I know a few people have kept it. They've got it on the PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. I know a few people that have downloaded it on all three, just to play it each different time. But that's my only bugbear about it.
Is there different ways of playing it?
No, not really. If there's, what do you mean by different ways of playing?
Like, I don't know Resident Evil very well, but like, could I like choose a different, not quite ending for the demo, but could I do different things that would affect how the demo story turns out?
Technically, you could end it. You could end it in a different way. You could go a different route.
Okay.
Because it's technically open to you. It's the minute you start, you can go. You always have to go underneath the shutters to the right of the door that you first come into. You always need to do that. But then you can go other ways. You don't need to do the main storyline. You could go and explore around the police station.
Okay.
You can only really get the one ending.
Right.
And that's when you go back to a certain point. You talk to another character. The demo ends there. So I finished it in about 20 minutes because I knew the rough layout of the police station. Because I played Resident Evil 2 so many fucking times. I genuinely think I've played it 15 times. Just back to back it. Because it's my favourite game of all time. So I kind of knew the rough layout of the police station. And for the most part, if you knew what it was like in Resident Evil 2, you're going to know what it's like in Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Yeah.
You're going to have that kind of muscle memory. Some things have changed. I'm not saying it's 1-to-1. I'm saying it's maybe 85.
Okay.
There's certain things that have been changed, and it's a good change. It's a very welcome change. So I went there, done some things, and then I thought I'm going to go check this place out, that place out. Most of the puzzles are completely different.
Well, that's good.
Which I fucking love.
Yeah.
I'm stupidly down for that. There was one puzzle when you go into the library, you had to move bookshelves.
Okay.
It's weird, but it's Resident Evil. That's still in there, but you don't need to. It's like it's not put them in a certain order. It's move them in to try and push down a pressure plate that then you can use to drop down something and get an item. So they've kind of made it a bit more logical there.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I fucking loved about this demo was just how fucking nice the PlayStation looks, with some care and attention put in it, because it looked good in the GameCube PlayStation 1 era.
Yeah.
But just seeing it in fucking new graphics with the new sort of scale and polish to it, just seeing the size of the PlayStation.
It's like the Spyro and Crash things, because they've gone for a total like ground up redo.
Yeah. And it's the way they've done the game. Leon, like, he's a complete like noob neophyte. He's and you get that in the way that he shoots, because he always kind of moves when he's holding the gun, so you could have it dead center, but there's always that kind of like move because he's visibly shitting himself because there's fucking zombies.
Yeah.
So what I did, I went straight to the right under the shutters, started rummaging about, and immediately found the weapons key card for the locker room. I thought, I'm going to go get me a fucking shotgun and make this easier. And I just started, what I didn't know that you get 7 shotgun rounds. That's it. In the demo, you can't get any more. So I'm walking around blasting motherfuckers left and right. And I got to a room where there's 4 of the fuckers coming at me, and I went, I wasted my ammo. I had to sit and shoot them with a pistol because you get a lot of pistol rounds, but no healing items. So you really need to watch. You need to run, and you can use your knife as a kind of defense weapon.
Yeah.
And the thing that they've done in Resident Evil 2 Remake is your knife can break, which makes sense.
I like the sound of this. This is a lot more intense.
I don't know what it is, but obviously Resident Evil has always been about being creepy. They nail it in Resident Evil 2. There's no electricity in the place. You need to reset some of the generators and stuff. You need to switch on some lights again. For the most part, you've just got a pistol in right hand, torch in left hand, and you're just going around corners.
Right.
And the phrase "check your corners, rookie" helps, because I walked around a corner and didn't see a zombie that was hiding in a kind of a corridor that had been blocked off to my left. It was kind of crouched down in the corner. See me walking past, and all of a sudden, just this fucking force pushes me over, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then there's this zombie snacking on my neck.
Shit.
And it throws you off a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Because in Resident Evil 2, the original, if you went into the police station and turned left, you could go through a set of doors that would take you to a sort of reception area. If you kept going past the reception area and you got to a door behind a set of kind of like a sort of row of benches, you would see a creature called a licker, which is this fucking horrible, nasty thing crawling past the window. It's not there anymore. It's not there. It threw me off because I'm walking around the corner. I'm just going, and the licker's going to be there in 5, 4, 3, 2. 5, 4, 3. Where's the fucking liquor? And then you go through the back alley and you go to a kind of press room. Yeah. And you're thinking, right, surely the liquor's got to be there. Then you walk down the corridor again and you're thinking, right, surely, right, the liquor has to be here somewhere. And then you get the fucking the jump scare of this zombie battering the shit out the window. And it genuinely, it kept me on edge. Like, I don't really get scared by video games, but the fact that I was in a place that I knew back to front,
Yeah.
and everything was changed, I was like, holy shit, I'm going to fucking love this game.
Yeah. The idea that you would like, I like the idea that we would like fuck with you in that lady. Like, the fans know this is coming.
Yeah. But
When it doesn't come, if we do something else.
yeah. And it's, not only does the game look fucking stunning, the zombies look they look scary now.
Yeah.
And the attacks that they do, they actually rip off chunks of flesh, and you see that in death animations.
Right.
If you, enough of them sort of jump on you, or you take enough damage, you get the death screen. And at one point, they actually just rip the side of your face off, and you can actually see Leon. He'll be tilting his head to the right where they've been attacking. You see a chunk of flesh taken off.
Well, that's good.
They put a lot of attention to detail into the kind of gore, because I think everyone at this point has seen the trailer when Leon's walking through the corridor and he sees the face of the guy that's had his face slashed by the liquor. So he's got 3 like claw marks going down his face. And when he turns his face to the right to see it, you just see the kind of flesh separate.
Oh.
And all the kind of viscera and gore. And I just thought the people that made this put so much attention to detail in it.
Yeah.
That I'm probably going to replay this a few times.
Yeah.
No, but I was really, really impressed.
And that's an open beta, right?
No, it's just a demo that you can download. You could download it right now.
Guess what I'm doing?
But, no, it was. See, it was that kind of gratification for me anyway. Just someone who took my favorite game and just made it so much fucking better.
Yeah.
It was the fact that your knife can break. It adds an extra level of the survival horror aspect that I've been looking for since Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
Because Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, I think, are perfect games in my mind. They've got horrible, cheesy dialogue, but that does not detract from my experience of playing those games.
Gonna make a Jill sandwich.
You were almost a Jill sandwich. I'll give you this lockpick. Well, who's better to have it than the master of unlocking? What the fuck does that even mean, Barry?
Barry, you're drunk. Go home.
It's the bit when you go, I hope this isn't Chris's blood. Did you just take a swig at a hip flask? I hope this isn't Chris's blood. Oh, it's whiskey.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Barry's been hitting the old whiskey again. But that's 1, 2, and 3 have been kind of this perfect survival horror experience for me. Then it goes to 4. It was a good game, but it was survival action, as most people know. Then 5, good game. It's cheesy. It's hokey.
Punching a boulder.
Punching a boulder. It's the punching the boulder I can get, because it's just like, fuck it, I need to move this thing. But it's the fact that he flexes at the end of it and the thing just rolls away. Like he just goes, oh, and then the thing rolls over. Really?
I've forgotten that.
You're going to end the game that way? Then there's Resident Evil 6, which I'm not even going to fucking talking about.
Yeah.
Then they brought it back for 7, which is just fucking golden. But no, very, very, very happy with the Resident Evil 2 demo, and I'm very happy that it comes out next Friday.
Next Friday. Yeah. Right. When? Oh, what's it? Kingdom Hearts is soon, right?
It's the 29th.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to have some choices to make. I'm getting I bought a new PlayStation 4 because my other one says it's about to fucking take off.
Right.
I didn't plan on buying a new PS4. I was just going to take this one to go and get fixed. But I was talking to my older brother, and he randomly just asked me on the way to rugby training one night, do you know anybody that's looking for a PS4? And I went, I might be. What kind of PS4 is it? And he went, oh, it's a PS4 Pro. I went, oh, this is going to be expensive. Kind of thinking to myself, it's going to be too expensive.
Yeah.
I went, how much is he wanting for it? 150. Fucking right, I'll take that.
What's the size of the hard drive?
It's
a Pro's 1 terabyte, isn't it?
It's Pro's a standard 1 terabyte.
All right.
So that's not too bad. I asked him, why is he getting rid of it? And he said, what's wrong with it? He went, nothing wrong with it, it's fine. He bought it for his nephew, who played it for 45 minutes and decided that he didn't want it. I went, fucking right, I'll take that. I'll give you
Right then,
I
nephew.
literally just went to the cash point, lifted 150, went, give that to your boss, give me the PlayStation when you can.
Yeah.
I thought there's no way I can pass that up. So I got a Resident Evil 2 on the Xbox, because I've got all my other Resident Evils on the Xbox and I want to play it on a good controller.
You look at me like I'm going to argue against that.
No, I'm looking at you for confirmation, because modern console Xbox does have the better controller.
Yeah.
I just don't like the PlayStation 4 controller for some reason. I don't like it. So I'm playing Resident Evil 2 on the Xbox, but I'll be playing Kingdom Hearts 3 on the PlayStation, because I don't know why, I always think if you play the next game in the series, you're going to get something for having save data from the old games.
I've seen a few games do that. Forza Horizon did it. You could use your previous skins.
Yeah.
And that was about it?
Yeah. And I think I'm too used to playing Kingdom Hearts on a PlayStation controller.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be a bit weird playing it on an Xbox controller. It wouldn't be much different, but I think it'd be a bit weird.
Yeah.
And then that kind of peters out my January wallet purge. And then we get to March when I'm buying Mortal Kombat 11, because that game looks fucking gorgeous.
I did see the trailer for that and it looks absolutely gruesome.
Almost that is what the gameplay looks like.
Yeah.
Slightly toned down. It looks fucking ridiculous.
I did see a Twitch stream of the release event where there were people playing like a demo version of it, hosted by Simon Miller, which is good to see he's still working. Yeah. He was
Simon Miller? You mean?
No, Simon Miller. Big
I'm
old
thinking
bald wrestling guy.
Oh, I'm thinking of Greg Miller.
Yeah. No. He was an Xbox event. Greg Miller wouldn't be seen dead there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Although he was in an episode of Always Open. I know you watch Always Open sometimes from Rooster Teeth.
He was,
and he showed up there with Jeff. I haven't finished that episode yet, but it was alright.
Mm-hmm.
And watching Simon Miller on stage. And the chat was absolutely brutal with him. I fucking love Simon. He's absolute, like, proper, like, full, like, man-sized puppy. But, like...
Just a big man child.
Yeah, just a big man child. He just likes dumb wrestling stuff and, like, video games and hanging out and, like, doing stuff. And he's an absolute lad. But then you've got the chat just being mean to him and the girl because the girl was, like, trying to be very high energy. And people were just not having it.
Yeah. I found that when I was watching... There was a show on Netflix called Super Fan Builds. Don't know if you've ever watched that.
No, not seen that.
It was on a channel called... It was on the same channel that put up the... what the name is it? It's... they make video game swords. What the fuck is the name of that show?
I got nothing, I'm sorry.
I'm blanking, but it was on that channel. They basically take... Someone say, oh, my sister's a huge fan of Back to the Future. And they're like, fine, we're going to give your sister a Back to the Future hot tub. That kind of show. Okay. And the host of that... It was actually a pretty cool show because I liked seeing how they put these things together. But the host of that was a woman called Michelle Morrow, and she was the same kind of thing. She was like, hey guys, this week on Superfan Builds, we're going to build this. And just bring it down.
Take it down like 5%. We're going to watch a 40-minute video about people making a lancer out of like PVC piping.
Yeah, you're making a DeLorean hot tub for 40 minutes. Just bring it down.
We can't be this intense the whole time.
No.
Sometimes we just need a montage of just people cutting wood.
Yeah, it's just
all we
like
need.
putting it through a lathe.
Yeah.
I find that oddly... Like, watching videos of stuff being put through a lathe was cool.
It's dangerous. Like you could waste a fucking day.
Yeah, I was going
also using lathe is pretty dangerous.
But just watching wood get like machined.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I did that with it was resin and wood combination stuff where people would like make something out of wood and then pour resin into it. Just watching the pour, you're like, oh yeah, oh yeah.
This is a good waste of This is a good way to spend my day off.
It was about 2 hours of non-stop watching people pour stuff.
Man. It is a fucking wormhole.
How much content is there of people just pouring resin into like pine woods and going, that really matches the tones of the cedar.
Yeah, that's going to set all nice and good in about 4 hours. I don't know why I'm Bob Ross in this. Just going to dance in a happy little sky.
Remember, use a happy little air torch to just blow at those bubbles.
Just give her all those bubbles and just dance around there like one of God's children. Fucking love Bob Ross. I always remember before primary school, obviously everybody this is way before my dad retired, so we all kind of get up around about the same time. Yeah, I'd just go downstairs. My dad would be sitting watching Bob Ross on, I think it was on Discovery, or it might have been on Challenge way back in the day. There was no better way to start your day than just hear Bob Ross and just, we were going to take a little bit of our cadmium yellow and we're going to just dance in a happy little sun. Yeah, it was a great way to start your day. Obviously he is a big he's a big part of the Twitch, like always streaming, always on or something. Yeah.
And actually
that
saw
and Doctor Who.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Doctor Who's on there, like classic Doctor Who's on there in the last couple of days. I
think they're on the fourth Doctor or something now.
Kind of want to watch it, but also really don't want to watch it.
Old Doctor Who is rough.
I know it's going to be really bad. Yeah. I saw people in like old policemen's uniforms. I was like, nah, not feeling this one.
It's the fact that in the new Daleks have this kind of mesh around them, so you can't see the fact that there's an actor inside the wheelie bin.
Right.
And in the old season, they didn't have that. It's just kind of, right, we'll put the bucket over, and then they won't be able to see the actor. Then if you watch some of particularly the Tom Baker series, season 3, you just think, hey, I can see a guy in there. I can see his eyes, for fuck's sake.
Come on.
It's just a bit of fucking effort. But then you get modern Doctor Who and it's just, is that a dude in there? I genuinely believe that could be a evil pepper pot from space.
Yeah. Totally reasonable to believe that's a giant pepper pot from space.
Apparently that's how they came up with the Daleks. Someone put a salt and pepper shaker. Just some guy started moving them around. They went, I could do something like that.
Somebody went to take it and he started screeching, exterminating the guy. You've got it. You're on a hit.
You're a fucking genius.
You sir, a genius. Like, no, that guy's actually just heavily autistic.
Yeah,
Like,
he's screeching at you.
he has serious problems.
Yeah, we don't know why we let him in here.
I don't know how he got in here, but he seems kind of dangerous.
Yeah, he knows the owner, so I think we have to let him in here.
Give him a raise.
Let's give him the corner office.
I don't have very much.
I think Resident Evil 2.
Resident
Resident Evil 2 and Mortal Kombat were kind of
Mortal Kombat were last thing, so I was like, oh, did you see it?
Yeah. Most thing I was going to talk about Mortal Kombat was just, I don't know who they sold their soul to make that game look as good as it does, but holy shit.
I know who they sold their fucking money. Do you see that you get to pre-order to get Shao Kahn?
Yeah, I pre-ordered.
I know, but like, that's like for the mega fans.
Yeah.
But I don't like the fact that there's so much that says pre-order it now to get this bonus, which should be basic content.
Yeah.
Especially for like a fan, like the long-running villain Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
That
You're
seems like a
expecting
bit of a cash grab.
I'm buying the...
Especially before reviews come out.
Yeah. See, the way I'm justifying it, I'm buying the 80 quid special edition. And what justifies that for me is it comes with the season pass.
Okay.
And it comes with a whole bunch of extra skins, a album, a soundtrack for the game, and a steelbook. It's 80 quid all in. It's not the most I've ever spent.
Oh no.
No. I bought way too much back in the day. It's not too bad. And the fact that you're getting the season pass with it, it saved me about £35.
Yeah. I just wish when it came to like stuff like season passes, games industry would just admit, we can't make a game for £60 anymore.
Yeah. What bugs me most about the season pass idea is the fact that if you want these characters, you have to pay for it now. It fucking bugs me so much. It's the reason why I've not...
Especially in a fighting game.
Yeah, it's the reason why I've not bought Injustice 2. Because if I want to play Injustice 2, I want to play as Red Hood, I want to play as the fucking Ninja Turtles, I want to play as Hellboy, I want to play as Sub-Zero and Raiden.
I'm sorry, the Ninja Turtles are in there?
All fucking 4 of them, and they are great.
Okay.
You can pick which one you want to play as. You can play as Donatello, Raphael, Leonardo, Michelangelo. You can pick whatever one you want, and they all have unique interactions with other characters. It's fucking awesome. I'm trying to think what other characters were in there. Hellboy, Ninja Turtles, Enchantress, the Atom, who I could fucking take or leave, but he's actually pretty funny because he can shrink.
Okay.
They all have traits that they can use. With Batman, he summons like 3 little sort of drone things that they can spin around them, or he can send them into them. With Superman, he basically just he boosts the solar energy. Same with Supergirl. They'll have these kind of traits. The Atoms is he can just shrink, but deal the same amount of damage. So you can't fucking see him, and he's just like uppercutting you all over the place. And because he sounds like a 1950s radio character, it's fucking hilarious. She's like, "What ho? Fight me, now do well." Like it's pretty cool.
I'll have a thing.
And Hellboy's pretty funny as well.
Yeah,
because his main stick is he's all about punching with the right hand, but his trait is he brings out the revolver. Like, I think he gets 4 shots or something. If he
just straight up fucking murder.
Fucking Ron Perlman, motherfucker. I don't give a shit. Well, he's not Ron Perlman anymore.
Yeah, I saw that trailer and I was like,
not impressed.
Not impressed.
The,
a bit worried.
The get up looks a bit harsh.
Yeah, and I like the guy who's playing.
Oh, David Harbour. Fucking love that guy. Stranger Things is one of my favourite TV shows of the past 5 years.
And I saw that, I'm like, oh boy, I'm kind of worried.
It's the fact that they've cut the trailer to look like and now we follow the story of a young man who has not had the best life, but today he's going to turn it all around. Join us, won't you, for Hellboy? And then it cuts into the sitcom music or something. It just looks it looks too much like a comedy for me, and it's fucking Hellboy.
Yeah. It can be a weird, dark story. I mean, it starts with Nazi Germany.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
I think they're trying a new angle on it, and I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to see more.
Yeah,
maybe a clip or something.
Same old rules. Wait until we see it.
Yep.
Then be critical as shit.
Yeah.
I actually was reminded one thing I forgot to bring up, but don't think we've discussed this, is that Bungie, developers of Halo and Destiny, are splitting from Activision.
I think as of now they have split.
Yeah, the thing happened in typical Gibberpish fashion. We record an episode, then the big news hits. So this was the one from last week. I was like, God damn it.
Motherfucker.
And I was actually going to talk about them for another reason, was the fact that they fucked up a Destiny 2 piece of DLC content or whatever, where they have these raids, which are like super complex boss fights.
Yeah.
And they're a lot of fun, really stressful. If you're playing with a good team, You can fucking crack him out easy. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. And then all of a sudden they release this one, which is just a 9 hordes, 9 just random ambushes by hordes, and everyone's like, okay, what the fuck are we supposed to do? Turns out there's a challenge and a weird puzzle that was built into the raid. So as you were fighting off waves of attackers, you had to figure out a problem. Nobody did it.
Yeah,
they made it too complicated and nobody could figure it out. I don't even know what the puzzle was.
Yeah,
it would seem to be a weird meta thing that was going on at the same time. And given what was going on with the first Destiny raid, which involved you shooting different targets as you had to jump up and down on different platforms, whilst fighting 10 guys, and also it was just a complete shit show. When I left, I was like, I'm done. Fuck this.
Yeah, fuck Destiny 2.
This makes no sense. And then people were saying, no, this was way more complicated than anything else that's come before.
So is it a proper horde mode? It's like a Gears of War type horde mode where you've just got waves of enemies coming at you?
Yeah. And
then they expected you while you're fighting for your life in a raid setting to then do this puzzle?
Yeah. Which there was no guidance on. There was no
even
idea.
A hint towards this? You need to do something.
Based on previous raids, I'm gonna guess no.
I think you jumped off at the right point, dude.
Yeah. But they realized that nobody had done this in 24 hours, and they said it was doable in 18. And they're like, look, if it takes the community more than 18 hours to figure this one out, we'll be very surprised. Nobody got it.
No one's done it.
And about a day and a bit later, they just said, you know what, fuck it. And the idea was that this was a series of challenges that would unlock more content. And then this was the second to last one. This would unlock one last room where they could do something or something else. And nobody figured it out, so they just unlocked the last room. They're like, huh, okay. And that was going to be what I was going to talk about. And then the same day they go, oh, by the way, we're leaving Activision. Later, nerds. Okay. So they've got about 100 million in the bank to make another game, and they're going to keep making Destiny content and bankroll Destiny 3 themselves. So
I can see maybe Microsoft just going, come back. Here's another 3 billion, come back. Be funny if they tried though, because I can see Bungie just going, no.
I could see them staying sole for at least Destiny 3. I'd say after that, it's open season. And I don't know who they would go with. Because previously they've just done Xbox. And now they've done cross-platform. So now they've also included PC with Destiny 2. I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep doing their own thing. But also try and focus more on PC. Yeah.
I suppose the more you think about it, how much of their weird decisions have been Bungie, and how much of it has been Activision just clawing it back, just going, no, do this.
Well, based on the report that people were popping champagne during the announcement, I'm guessing there's a reasonable, a really large amount of Activision interference.
Yeah,
which wouldn't surprise me with it being Activision.
Because they don't like money; they're all about the gamers.
No, all about the gamers. That's why Blizzard has loot boxes. Yeah. It's not that. It's fine.
It's good.
Don't pay attention.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if we hear some news in the next couple of years about them either staying solo or going with. They might go back to Xbox. Depends.
I could see them maybe going back to Microsoft, but it would take a lot of convincing.
It would take a lot of get your hands off our property.
Yeah, it would take it. Just remember Halo. Yeah, give us it back. What the fuck was Halo 5? Just answer me that. What the fuck was Halo 5?
If you told me Halo 6 was out, I'd believe you because I don't care.
No, Halo. See, that's the thing. Halo 3 was good. ODST was good. Reach, fucking fantastic. Then it went to Halo 4. It's all right. It's not great. The Halo 5, that was just a bag of dicks.
If you want to laugh, by the way, Badger and pals are playing Halo Reach Lasso, Legendary All Skulls on.
Ah, right.
It is fucking brutal.
I can imagine.
I am watching these guys batter themselves silly trying to beat this thing. They're live streaming it all on Twitch, so if you want to watch it, definitely give it a look because it is fucking insane. I can't believe the fact they're like, oh, quick headshot the elite. That'll get his shields down. No.
You've played Halo, right? That just pisses it off. See the big glowing green weak spot on his back? Shoot that.
No, the elites. That's Hunter. You're thinking Hunters.
I'm thinking of Hunter, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I was watching.
If it's the elites, if you shoot them in the head, that just pops the helmet off.
This whole watching this, I'm like, I'm glad I never even attempted this lasso bollocks.
I tried Legendary mode a couple of times, but I just thought, you know what, this game's not good enough to make me want to play it through on a harder difficulty. I don't want to better my skills at this game.
I think we beat 3 on Legendary, me and my brothers, but that was like a concentrated effort.
Yeah.
I think it was like, we have a week off school, what do? Halo on Legendary.
Yeah, let's do that. That was exactly what happened to me in Resident Evil 6.
Yeah.
It was the last. I hadn't felt stupidly optimistic about Resident Evil 5. It's not. It was only when I went to go back and play Resident Evil 5 that I kind of thought, oh, this game, I accept this game, watch and all. But Resident Evil 6 was always one of those games that I thought wasn't good. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to make this. I'm going to play this on professional because it's probably going to be the last Resident Evil game that I ever play.
Yeah. Not knowing 7 was around the corner.
Not knowing 7 was a couple of years away, not knowing that I was getting Resident Evil 2 remake. So I just thought, fuck it, professional, going to play it co-op with my older brother. If we didn't fucking realise how much of a Herculean task that was, that game does not fuck around with its ammo and item placements.
Yeah.
You genuinely, I'm probably exaggerating with this, but to my recollection, I think you got about 3 green herbs for an entire level. I just thought, motherfucker. You got fuck all bullets as well, so you're basically just relying on your knife and your wits. And
one punch is going to take about 2/3 of your health bar.
Yeah, you're going to drop per... Fuck, I need to start drinking coffee or something.
Yeah.
You're going to drop from fine at the green stage just straight down to yellow caution immediately.
Shit.
Yeah, Resident Evil professional modes do not fuck around, except in Resi 4 where you could just take a step back, shoot with the ultra powerful handgun that you got in the other playthroughs and just keep popping heads.
Yeah, I heard it was like a Desert Eagle or something. It's a 50 cal rifle or something, or 50 cal pistol.
Yeah.
On that last playthrough, or with the second playthrough, and you could just go through that. And if you kept all the Magnum ammo, that was, you're good to go.
Oh, in RE5 and RE6, you could just get infinite ammo for everything.
Okay.
You just walk about with the Desert Eagle just popping heads, or if you had the...
I remember that on RE5 as well.
Yeah.
You had to do some weird challenge to get it, but it was...
Yeah, I think you had to complete it on professional mode.
Yeah, it was worth it though.
Yeah, you could get the infinite ammo Gatling gun for Chris, and you could get the infinite ammo bow and arrow for Sheva.
Oh yeah,
which got them in a bit of trouble because like, oh wait, she's an African woman. You give her a fucking bow and arrow.
I think it was more to do with the fact they gave her like a leopard print.
Yeah,
like, the leopard
special
skin.
costume.
Yeah. You're like, wow, okay.
You went there. It's not right. You got them in a lot of trouble.
You done goofed.
Yeah,
just
you fucked up.
Hands up and admit it.
Yeah, but no one played that costume. Everyone just thought, all right, here's Sheva in a business suit. Let's use that. We won't get in trouble. Then just the tits pop out and you're like, okay.
Now we're in trouble again.
Now you're in trouble again.
Speaking of being in trouble, did you see the Gillette ad?
No, I didn't. No,
it's not that bad.
Really?
There's a big hoo-ha about the fact that Gillette's being very preachy and trying the thing of Gillette has been the best man can get.
Yeah, but the fact
now
that it's
pivoting
£18 for 5 fucking razors that you're going to burn through in about a week.
So good.
Yeah, but it's £18 though.
Yeah, but it's always been the best man can get, and then for this advert they've started talking about Be Better Men, and it's been absolutely hammered for being like fake wokeness. And the best quote I've seen about it is, we're now in a weird kind of corporate woke situation where corporations claim to be woke so they can sell products to people who are woke who claim to hate capitalism. You're like, yeah, we're at that level of completely fucked. We seem to have like twisted all this around to kind of feed into itself. But it's just basically saying that, lads will be lads behaviour needs to kind of take a fucking back seat, and you're like, okay, weirdly preachy for a razor company, but fair enough.
So what you were saying, they're saying that lads are going to be lads, that let's disregard their behaviour.
Yeah. Well, the idea that like we used to just say boys will be boys.
Yeah.
Boys are going to fight each other. No, boys don't have to fight each other.
Yeah.
Boys should probably sort shit out with words like, yeah, boys are roughhouse occasionally.
Yeah.
But if boys start fighting each other, like, you just need to take them apart and say, what's wrong, sort it out with words.
And
like whole catcalling thing and just weird, like, obviously, like Me Too references and stuff. They're saying that needs to stop, and you're like, okay, fair point, but do you genuinely believe this, or are you just trying to get woke points?
Yeah.
So that, at least it started that conversation. But it was you got those weird backlash from, again, Piers Morgan and people like that who are just like, no, we can't have this is just really offensive to men. And you're like, what men?
No,
seriously, bring out those men.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most men, when they see what was the tagline, Be Better Men?
Yeah, be better, man.
Yeah, most people say that. You go, you know what? Like, we could be better. We could stop doing this. Particularly the toxic masculinity thing.
Yeah,
I get that it can be a bit. I'm probably, again, if I said this to people's face, I'll probably get in trouble. But it seems a bit scapegoaty. Like, oh, you're being very toxic masculine.
Yeah.
How? Because I'm, being one of the lads.
Yeah, but there's the thing of like, we really maybe should address certain toxic aspects of masculinity. But
Yeah.
I don't think a razor company is the person to address it.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be a people thing.
Yeah. I think it should just be a toxic masculinity is not good. You create a bit of a.
If you've been in the room with genuinely like toxic people, it's weird. It's oddly embarrassing.
Yeah.
And it's not like from I'm not woke at all.
Yeah, it happens quite a lot in Scotland. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of people who are. I mean, the way I see toxic masculinity is that people that are just stuck in their ways and refuse to change no matter what. Like, fucking women should be in the fucking kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, children should be seen and not heard. That kind of shit.
That type of thing doesn't work.
No, it fucking doesn't work.
It didn't work before. Just nobody spoke up about it.
Yeah.
But
Because
again,
people were afraid of the quote unquote man.
But again, a razor company should not be the one selling that idea.
Yeah. One of my friends, I genuinely, there's been a shift on that.
Yeah.
One of the people that I know,
a former acquaintance,
someone who I used to be quite friendly with. That sounds fucking weird. Someone that I used to be friends with.
Someone who used to give handjobs to.
Yeah, someone just the
reach around. Old Dutch rudder.
They'll reach around. The old downhill skier.
Yeah. Everybody grab the dick on your left and let's go to town.
Let's test your ambidextrous. No, it's genuinely someone that I used to consider quite a good friend, but then just how I consider him nowadays to just be a bit of a bleeding heart.
Right.
Every little cause or something he has an opinion on.
All right.
And what bugs me the most about him is the fact that he doesn't read into the situation. He reads base and goes, right, that's my opinion now. Like, dude, you're a smart man. Don't fucking do that. Read into it. Research.
You can read the whole story. You know that, right?
Yeah, you don't just go, all right, people who support capitalism are implicitly supporting Chinese sweatshop conditions. You want to read into that? Are you just going to take that headline? Oh, right, you're just going to take the headline. That's cool. I'm going to read the article. Yeah. I'm going to do the smart thing.
It turns out you can just avoid a few shops and be reasonable. Yeah,
just one of the comedians that I follow, Aisling B, she does a lot for the eco brands.
Yeah.
Just like, here are people that do, like, they source all their fabrics, their clothes and stuff from sustainable places, and they use animal safe practices. I think that's what they call it, animal safe practices. But you can do it that way. You don't need to support capitalism. But the fact that you're saying, we should have no brands, everyone should just wear plain. It's like, but even if you're wearing a plain T-shirt, a company still made that. It is still a brand. Yeah, you can't be right. But anyway, there's a whole fucking side story. I genuinely like screwing with him because he's like, he always says stuff like, I'm genuinely pretty woke. And at one point, we were just sitting talking to someone. I was like, we should all fucking stick it to the man. I was like, excuse me, stick it to the person. And he just kind of looked at me like this. I'm woke, damn. I'm woke. My mum says I'm woke.
You're not supposed to get me like that.
I'm in my safe space. Reality doesn't touch me.
There's
I hate I'm not a fan of the idea of safe spaces. Like, reality will always step in. Get you toughen up and get used to the outside world. Not try to go into a bubble.
The thing about that is that the idea of being like the safe space bubble. Yeah. Everyone in that bubble seems to turn on each other.
Yeah, we can't. There's no one else to look outside and critique on. So let's look at people inside the bubble and start tearing them apart. Yeah,
eventually it's your problem.
Yeah,
like you made that guy's head roll, but eventually you're up on that block too.
Yeah, eventually you've got the axe in your neck as well.
Yeah, I think it's time for a weird showstopper.
A weird showstopper. Is it worse than the Christmas one with the nail clippings and the pee-pee?
No. No, it's a weirdly.
Because that one I had some shit to work through. That was horrible. I had some images in my head that I did not want them.
No, this is a more recent one. Normally it's something weird that pops up. It's weird fun news. This is just straight up horrific news.
Okay.
Coming out of California. Mm-hmm. There was a town, I think, remember it's called Chico or something like that.
Okay.
They had in one day 15 heroin overdoses or 15 opiate overdoses.
Jesus Christ.
One scene was described as paramedics doing CPR on 2 people simultaneously.
Jesus.
If you do first aid courses, the one thing you're told is that you should be doing CPR almost as little as possible. Like you need a breather. So that means typically two people in a paramedics team would be doing CPR without any backup, unless there was other people there they could kind of help defer the duty to. I'm assuming there would be other first responders who respond to overdose. Normally there's a cop shows up, but 15 people were found in one day having heroin overdoses. 12 of them were in hospital.
So were they all in separate locations?
Yeah, but in the same time.
Same time, but
same time. 15 different people just all had overdoses in the same day.
Fucking hell.
Fuck. And one of them died. 12 were still in hospital, like almost a week later. And this also comes out the same day that there's been a report by a group that look at just raw data on like ER rooms and stuff. 2017, you were more likely to die of a heroin overdose than be killed by a car.
Fuck. Yeah, that's...
The fuck.
Yeah, that's useful. But then again, talking...
Again, this is all American, so we're getting very lucky on this one.
Yeah. But then again,
people in the UK.
People are so, especially nowadays, are so quick to self-medicate. A lot of people, I mean, it's no secret that nowadays, a lot of people, because we're more, I think it's because we're more active, there's a lot more injuries. I mean, I'm a fucking walking injury right now anyway, but people just look at, I've got painkillers, but I'm not really doing the job. What can I go to next that's slightly more effective? Then people just keep going at that top and go, you know what's really good for a headache? Cocaine.
Well, the thing they point to in the US is that there has been a like generation of people who were just had pills thrown at them. You get pain pills for everything. Yeah. And that this was in part due to like pharmacy companies going at this on, well, it's a privatized market, we'd sell a product. And they just went out there and just tried to just pimp out as many pain pills as possible. Yeah. But now people now have addictions to the point where there's been reports or there's been like interviews of people who have said, yeah, I slammed my hand on a car door to get pain pills.
Yeah, there's people that fraudulently try and get medications. Yeah. I mean, you see it a lot of time in sort of medical dramas and stuff that people like, oh, I pretended that I had appendicitis to try and get some Percocets or something that would just really dull the pain. Yeah. But there's genuinely people that do that. I know one of my lecturers had to deal with a case that it's well past statute of limitations, so we can talk about it freely. Yeah. She spoke about it in class, so it's pretty free to talk about. She dealt with someone who was a known sort of pillhead, and he would actually run over his arm, like tell his wife, like, you need to run over my arm because I need to score some pain pills.
Holy fuck.
She was a family lawyer, so they came to her for a divorce.
Well, a divorce. We're going to tell you one story and then you're going to agree, okay?
You're going to get it in one story.
What's your story? 30 seconds later, that's a good one.
Yeah, we have a Range Rover. What's that going to do with the thing? I ran over his arm so he could get painkillers. I can't do that anymore. I'm taking the kid and I'm fucking off.
I think this might not be a stable household.
Really?
Yeah, that's... I just wanted to end the show on that one because we don't do much to kind of actually bring important information to people, but I think every now and again when you have a death rate where like 2-ton killing machines are being outdone by pain pills in killing people, there's a problem there, and I wanted to get more news out there just to say this is an issue.
Yeah, when the statistics show that people are safer operating heavy machinery drowsy than they are taking regular pain pills, someone needs to bring that information to people. Yeah,
I don't know where this goes as far as like your long-term issues.
Yeah, I get that most people, I mean, again, I have a shit ton of injuries. You're probably the same way just because the amount of gym work and stuff you do. Yeah. Certain injuries will go away, like the back pain that you have from deadlifting or the leg pain that you're going to have from doing the treadmill will go away with proper rest and, relaxation. Taking proper care of yourself, they will probably go away. But there are some injuries that stick. Like right now, I have done something to my ACL. Yeah. And if it keeps going the way it's going, I might need to go the surgery route, which I'm fucking avoiding because I've seen an ACL surgery done and I don't want that shit anywhere near me.
ACL surgeries are surprisingly common.
Yeah.
And if you show up and say, I play sports, they're going to go, you have an ACL injury.
Yep. Somehow you've accumulated one. Yeah. It's just, you need to, I think people need to look at other ways. I don't want to say holistic medicine because water's not going to fucking help you.
No, it's fine. I put celery salt in it.
It's fine. I put Himalayan rock salt in there. It's totally going to help my cancer.
Did I have Himalayan rock salt next door? It's
fucking delicious. Yeah. We get, I think it's got Home Bargains or B&M's, something through in. There's one up here. but they're
Yeah.
fucking all over the place now. Just what I call them is just they're Christmas and New Year shops to me, because you can just go in there and get all your snack foods.
Yeah.
Like sure, I'll take a kilo of cheese savouries. I'll need those. 5 hours later, you're just like, oh god, why did I buy these? You go in there and you get big massive grinders of Himalayan rock salt. Fucking delicious, especially on some beef. Put that on top of the beef. Oh.
Yeah. And it's slightly less addictive than pain pills.
So yeah, eat some good steak. Use the money that you're spending on pain pills to go and get some good steak.
Yeah, and good luck to all the Americans right now who are currently furloughed in the government shutdown. I personally hope that it's over by the time we edit this podcast.
Yeah. How long's it been going on for now?
Trump? It's about 20. It was 24 days a couple of days ago, so it's getting up there.
Yeah.
And
like 26, maybe 27 days or something.
I think 27.
It's genuinely, I don't get Trump's tactic with this. It's like, oh, I'm going to make America great. What are you going to do to make America great? I'm going to shut down America. It's literally like he's setting America on fire to prove a point to other people.
Yeah. But all the best to you guys who are furloughed out there and who are currently waiting for a paycheck.
Yeah, fucking stay strong.
I know they're getting it sorted bit by bit, but it's not working.
Yeah, it has something. I get that people always say, "Oh, you should be impeached for this. You should be kicked out for that." But this is genuinely something. He's how many people employed by the government over in America? It's like 3,000 people or something.
No, it's way higher than that.
I remember seeing the number. It was like 32,000 people or something.
I've seen between 30 and 80,000, depending. It depends because there's like government employees, people who are mandatory staff, but also there's people who are contractors, so the number gets kind of iffy.
I suppose if you take it in the bigger picture, there's 32 people that are probably directly employed by the government, but then government also extends to, other sort of civil things.
I think it's 30,000 that are furloughed, which means they're not getting paid.
Yeah,
and they go on a deliberately unpaid status, and it's like 80,000 total people who are just not working.
Yeah, it's not good for America.
Yeah.
And the scary thing is, this guy in a couple of years' time. In fact, how long has he got left his term? A year.
He's going to have a year before he starts campaigning again, but he's re-elected in 2020.
Yeah, he stands for re-election in 2020. That's a year away.
Yeah.
That's fucking terrifying. And people are saying that he might get back in.
I don't know.
Yeah, the way I see it, our brothers and sisters in America need to do something about that. And I'm not going to wade in and say this is what you do because I'm Scottish. I'm not going to be that guy who says, look, America, this is what you do. You fucking kill him. JFK, that son of a bitch. No, don't fucking. Something needs to be done. And again, a lot of people. I'm really going heavy on the Instagram today. You see a lot of people on Instagram saying, I voted. That's genuinely the most important thing you can do.
Yeah.
Across the fucking globe. Vote the good people, or vote the people that can do good for your country, and kick out all the arseholes. And right now, Donald Trump is the leading arsehole in the state. You
saw it work in the midterms. Although I did see something interesting. There was a Patreon cosplayer. Was like, look, I got nothing to help. I can't help out people who are furloughed. But if you just email me a picture of your government ID, I'll let you have free access to my Patreon. You can enjoy that, I guess.
Yeah, people, there's ways to make it better. And
saw a picture of George Bush delivering pizza to government employees who weren't getting paid.
Yeah.
Even George Bush is helping.
Yeah. And obviously these things go stupidly far to help out the people that are being that are suffering because of the government shutdown.
Little human moments.
Yeah, little human moments that are going to help people through. But ultimately the way to beat this and stop it forever is get that fucking Watson out of the White House.
Yeah. But yeah. We've been the Gibberpish podcast. If you want to tweet at us, it's at Gibberpish on Twitter. And if you want to email us, it's gibberpishpodcast@gmail.com. And I've been Colin Graham.
I've been Dom Anderson.
And we've been talking Gibberpish.